SteveKaneRadioShow.com.
Good morning, everyone. Here we go. It is showtime. Man, do we got a lot to talk about on the radio today. Oh, my goodness, do we have a lot to talk about. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. And before we get started, everyone, please like the video.
Oh my goodness, do we have...
Liking the video helps spread the word on YouTube about my channel, about this program, and that would be greatly appreciated.
You are listening to South Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll-free, dial 1-888-GO-KANE 1. That's 1-888-GO-KANE 1. And now...
Hey guys, welcome. Yes, my name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. And I did not realize this until I was in the car this morning and I was listening to myself on the radio on the overnight rebroadcast, just checking out things, and I realized, I'll tell this to Steve today, this really caught me off guard. This is the 45th year of the Steve Kane Show on the radio. 45 years on the radio, the Steve Kane Radio Show. So I'm going to tell that to Steve. I don't know if Steve wants to hear that or not. Right? Makes you feel old. Well, we've got a lot to talk about on the radio this morning. Welcome, everyone. If you're new to this program, we are live from 6 until 9 a.m., Monday through Friday, broadcasting live on 95.3 FM, 96.9 FM, and AM 1470. You can also listen to us on the iHeart Radio app and the TuneIn app, searching for us by our radio station call letters, WWNN. That's 2 W's and 2 N's. And, I listen often. I usually listen on the FMs on my way into work, but sometimes I do listen on my Bluetooth with the iHeartRadio or the TuneIn app in my car. And you can check us out there too. And of course, you can watch on YouTube in high definition with our very opinionated chat room, oftentimes overly opinionated, but that's cool. Just search Brian Craig Show on YouTube and my YouTube channel will come up. And I know you guys will enjoy my YouTube channel. I upload a lot of content there, separate and apart from what you hear on the radio. All right, well, there's a lot to get into today, so I'm just going to jump right into it. And everything that I bring up on the program, you are welcome to call in. I've got an announcement I'm going to make at the first break, just a mental note about someone that I've been getting questions about for the last couple of weeks. But I want to first talk about this fake news story that there is a feud between the greatest president we have ever had, Donald Trump, who is the 45th president and will be the 47th president as well, unless Kamala Harris invokes the 25th Amendment, and then President Trump will be the 45th and the 48th president of the United States. And the greatest governor in the history of governors, and I don't mean just of Florida, I mean the greatest governor in the history of American governors from sea to shining sea, and that's Ron DeSantis. There is no feud between the two of them. There is a major effort to divide MAGA, to split MAGA, and they're also, and I'm going to read through the story about this, and you will come to see that it is big-time fake news. There is no feud between Ron DeSantis and Donald Trump. They are the best of friends. And don't believe all that fake news that he's going to run against Trump. Ron DeSantis has said he would not run against President Trump. So let me read this story from the Daily Mail, which is a collection of all the slanders about Ron DeSantis and Donald Trump's relationship. And you'll see right out the gate, not only is it fake news, but the evidence that it is. Okay, this is in the Daily Mail, which is liberal. So I apologize for the liberal language that you'll hear throughout some of this. These are not my words, these are the words of the Daily Mail. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, a once loyal member of Donald Trump's court, is refusing to bend a knee to the former president and says backing him in the 2024 election is too much to ask, after Trump publicly attacked his character, according to a report. More on the report in a bit. Trump reportedly said the popular governor has no personal charisma and a dull personality. As rumors swirl, the ex-president is angry DeSantis hasn't declined to challenge him for the GOP presidential nomination. That is a lie. I saw Governor DeSantis in one of his press conferences asked that question months ago, and I heard him say no, he will not run against Donald Trump. DeSantis, however, has told his inner circle that Trump's expectation that he bend the knee is asking too much. The New York Times reported. Everything I just read comes from the New York Times. Let me tell you this. There is no one in Donald Trump's circle, enemy of DeSantis or Trump, is giving information to the fake news New York Times. How many stories have the New York Times had about President Trump that turned out to be false? All of them, if it's a negative story. The governor, Ron DeSantis, also reportedly said his biggest regret in office is not having been much louder in speaking out against Trump's coronavirus pandemic response. That's absurd. Not speaking out louder. Not only did Ron DeSantis support everything President Trump did during the COVID pandemic, but he modeled Florida after President Trump's plan. The commentary comes after Trump appeared to take direct aim at DeSantis in an interview last week when he called politicians who refuse to disclose their booster vaccination status as gutless. Now, I don't know if he was talking about Ron DeSantis then or not. Maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. He didn't say. But this is what they've done. They've taken this, these snakes in what Kari Lake calls the uniparty. That's the Republican and Democrat establishment. I love that term, uniparty. What the Republican, Democrat, never-Trumpers, Trump-hating media have done, this is how propagandists, this is how liars operate. They take one story, one instance, which is this thing that President Trump said that these governors, they're cowards. They take that, he didn't say DeSantis' name, and now they have created this incredibly huge false narrative around that one little incident that was truthful, that President Trump did say that, but he didn't say DeSantis' name. Sources close to the former president, who have recently talked to him about the governor, said Trump has grown increasingly irked by DeSantis in recent months, with Trump beginning to voice his frustrations to those in his inner circle. Is there anyone in this listening audience who can imagine someone who was in Trump's inner circle? I'm not talking about Scaramucci, someone who used to be in his inner circle. I'm talking about someone that is in Trump's inner circle today. Can you imagine someone that is in President Trump's inner circle, a small, tight times? And there's and this story is in many publications. I'm not even reading from the New York Times. I'm reading from the Daily Mail. And what the media do today, they're all plagiarists. They're all committing plagiarism. You get kicked out of college for this. New York Times has one exact definition of plagiarism, and they're running it as loyal. Okay, as another story. The Florida governor is extremely popular in Republican circles and is widely seen as a leader who can push policies popularized by Trump without the same level of drama or baggage. Well, that's only because he's not running right now. The second that he runs and announces he's running, Ron DeSantis, that'll change on a dime. And it goes on and on and on. These are all lies. President Trump and Ron DeSantis are tight. Ron DeSantis was made governor by President Trump. And Ron DeSantis, now I imagine Ron DeSantis, now if President Trump were in the White House today, right? If President Trump were in the White House today, this would be Ron DeSantis' turn. And we would be talking about Ron DeSantis as the Republican nominee. But it's not his time to run with Kari Lake. If she does as good as it looks like she'll do, she seems very competent to me watching her in Arizona. I almost said Ricky Lake. Not Ricky Lake, Kari Lake. Oh my goodness. And he would be our nominee this time if it were not for the fact that Trump's not in the White House right now. So that, no. And you know, and I'm not telling you that Ron DeSantis may say like, oh, wow, you know, I would be a shoo-in right now for the nomination. He would be if Trump were not able to seek the nomination, which he will do this time around, as he's entitled to do. So what they're trying to do is divide MAGA, and, you know, these Trump haters, they don't understand Trump, they don't get Trump, etc. Nothing could be further from the truth. But they think that these false stories, what they will do is cause him to turn Ron DeSantis. Don't believe any of this. Now, if I saw President Trump at the rally bad-mouthing by name Ron DeSantis, that'd be another thing. If I saw Governor DeSantis at a press conference saying these things about President Trump, that would be another story. But none of that has happened. Fake news, propaganda, lies, slanders. Our number, I want to hear your thoughts on this at 1-888-GO-KANE 1-888-465-2631. It is a toll-free call no matter where you are listening to this program from. 888-465-2631. Now, a lot of people have been asking me a question, and I now have the answer to it. What happened? Where is Emerald Robinson? Remember, Emerald Robinson was the White House correspondent for Newsmax. Something happened over there. We're not exactly sure what. There's some speculation when she got banned from the Twitter. But she is no longer at Newsmax. What happened over there? We don't really know the full story. But we may find out soon, because guess what? Emerald Robinson has a new job. Emerald Robinson has been hired by the Thomas Edison of sleep, Mike Lindell. Mike Lindell has hired Emerald Robinson. That's right, the Daily Beast, MyPillow CEO Mike Lindell has hired former Newsmax White House correspondent Emerald Robinson. On Monday, the Pillow executive told the Daily Beast that his web-based Frank Speech live streaming platform had hired Emerald Robinson. Mike Lindell said this: "She has been hired as a host of a new show. We are building a great TV network, and she, Emerald Robinson, is a great host." So Mike Lindell has hired Emerald Robinson for Frank Speech to have a brand new show. And that is pretty exciting. And, you know, when you buy something at MyPillow and you use our promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, you not only are supporting the Steve Kane Radio Show, 45 years on the radio this year, you're also supporting Mike Lindell, Frank Speech, and now Emerald Robinson. You know, Mike Lindell said at the Trump rally on Saturday night that all the money he's making, he's pouring into Frank Speech. And Valentine's Day is right around the corner. No supply chain issues at MyPillow. Whatever special you see at MyPillow.com, you can take advantage of with our promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. Save up to 66% off with our promo code KANE at checkout at MyPillow.com, K-A-N-E. And I'm going to go through quickly what I have called the Brian Bundle for Valentine's Day at MyPillow.com. But any items at MyPillow.com make great gifts for your Valentine. The MyPillow bathrobes, oh man, his and hers would be spectacular. Your Valentine will love a MyPillow bathrobe. My wife and I got these for ourselves last Valentine's Day, and they are wonderful. They come in many different colors for men and women. Everything is in stock, by the way. I checked again last night. Also, they have a bunch of new colors in, and they also have a new style of robe. They have the heavy bathrobe at MyPillow, which is perfect. My wife and I have those, but they have the new lighter bathrobe, and that's 30% off with the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. And let me tell you, you're going to love that bathrobe. The MyPillow My Slippers. I have the MyPillow My Slippers. I wear them every day throughout the day. They come in many different styles and colors. And they have styles for both men and women. They even have pink for the ladies in some of the styles. The MyPillow My Slippers with our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, 40% off the MyPillow My Slippers. With the bathrobe, you got the bathrobe for your Valentine, you got the slippers for your Valentine. They're going to be a happy Valentine. I'm here to tell you, no matter if it's your husband, your wife, no matter if they're young, old, whatever, they'll love it. And of course, you got to wear something under the bathrobe, at least part of the time. And Mike Lindell has a new line of sleepwear, My Sleepwear, for both men and women, which is incredibly stylish. And many different stylish colors for men and women. 50% off the My Pillow sleepwear with the promo code Kane. And finally, what always makes a great gift that will change your life and the life of your significant other is the My Pillow mattress topper. The 3-inch My Pillow mattress topper, which is the thickest mattress topper Mike Lindell makes, with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, 30% off. And you get 2 free My Pillows with that as well. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane, Kane. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm from San Antonio, Texas.
All right, Texas. Speak up, Texas. You're on the radio. Go ahead.
I could tell you, a thing, about Donald Trump and everything and the governor and all that. He's going to become vice president and Donald Trump's going to be president. You know what I mean? That's the way it's going to...
Ron DeSantis for Trump's vice president? That would be spectacular. That would make me a very happy man.
Because over here, everybody loves Trump. People, workers from ACB, you name it, They don't want Biden. They want, they're already sick and tired of prices of tanking up. The meat's like $30, $75. Everything's all skyrocketed over here.
Yeah, my wife last night was grocery shopping from Walmart. And they were out of so many meats. Chicken in particular. Yeah.
You go to Sam's, and it's $175.
What? Oh my God! I wake up a little bit, Texas. I know. Hey, listen, Texas is not in the same time zone we're in. Oh man! All right, listen. We'll take a quick break. Come back with more of your calls, and I want to hear your thoughts on this fake news story that Ron DeSantis and our great President Donald Trump are fighting with one another. Your thoughts on that certainly are welcome. All right, 1-888-GO-KANE 1-888-465-2631. Back right after this.
Traveling, you need a COVID test?
Angela, $5 super chat. Everyone, thank Angela for that. Keep on keeping it real, Brian. Let's go, Brandon, Ron, and Trump in 2024. Absolutely. Jacqueline asks about buffering. Sometimes buffering happens. When buffering happens, it will clear up. I'll keep on going. The reason I keep on going when we're buffering is, one, I'm on all these radio stations, but two, when the show's over, YouTube fixes that and edits it together. But if there's buffering, just bear with me. It'll clear up momentarily.
On the southeast corner of University Drive in Ramblewood, near the Coral Square Mall in Coral Springs. Call 954-906-5983. Make sure to tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show.
Hi folks, Dr. Matez here, now with the BioStation West Delray. At BioStation West Delray, we continue to offer the highest level of experience and care you can find in the realm of hormone pellet and hormone replacement therapies. But that's just the start. We offer a full array of age management modalities, including state-of-the-art treatments for erectile dysfunction, sexual dysfunction in women, physical and sexual rejuvenation, and quite frankly, any sign or symptom of aging that you may have. And don't forget, we offer the complete...
Don't go to Walmart unless you love the CCP. Well, misunderstood. There's because our politicians have sold America out, trying to buy things that has nothing in it that's made in China. Good luck. You know?
561-320-8893.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for W.
Indeed, we are back 24 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show, celebrating 45 years on the radio, the Steve Kane Show this year. Oh, my goodness. That's exciting. All right, let's go back to the phones. My headphones aren't working. There we go. All right, are they working? There we go. Okay. 1-888-GO-KANE-1. That is our number, toll-free from anywhere. 1-888-465-2631. You're on the radio. Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good got disconnected.
Yeah, because the call was over, Texas. I heard what you said. But hey, listen, thanks for calling. Got disconnected. The rest of y'all don't stand by. This sounds like a screening call day. I love taking calls cold on the air. I love it. But there's a downside to it. All right, so let me get to some of the audio. I had a little bit of audio about this. Oh, yes, MSNBC. MSNBC. They were a little upset. They hate Trump at MSNBC, and they were talking about DeSantis. And they're in a panic over at MSNBC. They say DeSantis is worse than Trump. Yeah, listen to this. And this is part of the psyops, because this is MSNBC's portion of psyops here is to trash DeSantis. Because MSNBC, they're aware that if they're trashing DeSantis, that means he's a good guy. So they think they're trashing DeSantis at MSNBC. This is very sophisticated psyops that MAGA will start saying, oh, DeSantis, we should be looking at him closer. Listen, here it is. Here's MSNBC on DeSantis yesterday. And this guy that they're talking to is a former Republican.
I mean, I guess at one level, David Jolly,
Steve Kane Show.
Tarantulas in a bowl, may the, more.
Yeah, one call per day, man. You're already on. Not again.
But
I don't have time to talk. Steve Kane Show. Hold on.
The reason we pay attention to what happens and who seizes the, I don't want to call them aspirations, but the energy of that MAGA base is who is more dangerous with those lies.
Oh, yes. Okay, so the energy, this is Nicole Wallace, who worked for John McCain. She's probably the source of all those leaks in 2008 about Sarah Palin. She's in a panic. Ron DeSantis is more dangerous than Trump, she's telling us.
View who is more dangerous in charge of the MAGA base, Donald Trump or Ron DeSantis, David?
Ron DeSantis is far more dangerous than Donald Trump because he's more savvy, he's more coy, and he doesn't have the pitfalls that Donald Trump does. Ron DeSantis will announce he's running for president on this notion of the free state of Florida. Florida's not free if your kids can't be exposed to the full curriculum that would make them smarter and better educated students.
Oh, they're not, he's referencing critical race theory. Critical race theory would make them smarter and better students. If they think Whitey is evil, that'll make them better students. Yes, that's the first thing that makes him evil.
Students. Florida's not free if you can't get a test or treatment for COVID.
Okay. Florida's not free, because and here in Florida, we call this, we've renamed the state, Ron DeSantis is free Florida. Okay, and it's not free if you don't have access to tests or treatment. Okay. First off, we're advertising testing, right? In fact, I'm going to play this spot in the next commercial break. Any lab test now of Boca, any lab test now of Coral Springs, no appointment necessary, walk in, walk out a few minutes later, same day PCR testing and every COVID test you could imagine. So we're advertising testing. And you're in and out, no appointment necessary. Now this part about the treatment, see, this is something by design of Joe Biden. When the monoclonal antibody treatment was first available, Governor Ron DeSantis had centers set up all over the state of Florida where you could show up without a doctor's order and get the monoclonal life-saving antibody treatment. I know people whose lives have been saved by it here in Florida. And Biden was upset that Ron DeSantis was having such a great success, so he had the federal government buy up the supply. A week and a half ago when Steve told me he had COVID, I went online to try to find out where you can get the monoclonal antibody treatment. It's nearly impossible because the federal government has bought up the supplies of it. Local emergency rooms, some of them have limited supplies of it that they're giving out on an as-needed basis, but who knows what they base that on. Hopefully not the same standards in New York and other places where they give life-saving treatment to minorities ahead of white people. But, this is just a list of lies about DeSantis here.
Florida's not free if you don't have access to the ballot box. Florida's not free.
Oh, who does not have access to a ballot box in Florida?
Free if you're a voter who, through your municipal government, you vote and by a majority determined home rule.
Home rule. So he's for home rule of municipalities. This is when Governor DeSantis kept Florida open. and local Democrat hacks were trying to shut down their local cities and local counties because they didn't want them to reopen to screw Trump over, and Ron DeSantis sent out an executive order stopping them.
And then Governor DeSantis says, I'm not going to let you do that, and he kneecaps local voters. Florida's not free. It's a narrative that Ron DeSantis is very successfully selling, which is what makes him dangerous, because in Ron DeSantis' narrative of freedom, he's actually really kneecapping democracy right now for people of Florida, and he will successfully do it on the national stage should he get to the White House.
Okay, Florida's not free. I'm here to tell you I am in Florida. Florida is free. Free! The free state of Florida. Ron DeSantis is free Florida. I want to hear from some Floridians out there, my fellow Floridians and our local radio audience, who feel they're not free. The only things we couldn't do, there were certain things that were closed down by local communities, like the beaches. I haven't made a vlog about this. You couldn't go to the beach. The local Democrats and local cities, like here, in this city we're in this county we're in, local Democrats had police rope off with police tape the beaches so you couldn't go to the beaches during COVID. Everything Ron DeSantis had authority over was open. The only things that were not open were private businesses who chose to shut down, like Walt Disney World and some of the other theme parks, and these local Democrats who shut down their beaches and businesses in their community just because they hated Trump. There is no state in America as free as Ron DeSantis is free Florida. And Ron DeSantis is doing a damn good job here, and we love him. But it's not his time. His time is 28. This is Trump's time. Who's the author of the book In Trump's Time? Was that Newt's book? I can't remember. There's no feud. It's all lies. Don't believe it. My name's Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show. I've got something that just blew my mind when we get back from One America News. Don't go anywhere. One America News, they're not, they're being shut down by DirecTV, AT&T. They're not going away quietly. Wait till you hear this. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1, 888-465-2631. Back right after this.
We're entering the third year of COVID. It hit the country hard.
It depends on what it is. Some of the audio bites are lower, so I got to pot it up and down. Was it low or high?
It's low.
Yeah.
Everything is low, and then the audio bites are even lower.
A subsidiary of
Well, I just turned it up. Let me know.
He wants to bring PPE manufacturing back here to the United States.
Peter Navarro in Trump Time. Yes.
About nitro gloves and PPE.
Well, you said it in the introduction. We weren't prepared. Well over 90% of the gloves that we use are manufactured overseas. We were gouged. So your average physician, nurse, emergency worker simply couldn't get the gloves to keep them and their patients safe. And that's intolerable.
A lot of people say you can't make anything in the United States anymore. It's too expensive. It costs too much. We don't have the materials here. How are you going to bring production of PPE to the United States?
Well, the reason we can't is because we haven't. We gave it up. It was a policy for 3 or 4 decades that we build all the fancy stuff here and all the average stuff we import. And now we're paying the price for it. We certainly can build things here. We have the skills, but we have to have the willpower to do so. And that is the central focus of SMI. Bring manufacturing back to the United States. Through our analysis and our due diligence, we believe this is not only profitable, but will lead the way for other companies in the future to continue the trend to remove dependence on foreign resources for critical materials.
Now, people who are in the listening audience who want to participate, who want to help make us independent when it comes to PPE, how can they...
This story with One American News is insane, but it's hilarious, too. Well, there's a lot of places you can find where you can make a... I'll clarify this when I get back.
Citizens, government, policymakers, business and industry, labor, to get behind this effort to bring manufacturing...
DeSantis is awesome. Oh, yeah. Property values are going through the roof. My neighbor just sold his house right next door to mine for so much money. Oh, my gosh. He's like going to retire off of it.
6870. Online, strategicmanufacturers.com.
Here we go.
Is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1.
Oh, yeah, DeSantis is the best. You know what? One thing about DeSantis they really hate? He wears cowboy boots with his suit. They really hate that, too. All right, 35 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. The longest-running radio show in Florida, celebrating 45 years of the Steve Kane Show this year on the radio. Okay, before I get to this story about One American News, which is insane and hilarious and beautiful all at the same time, we'll get to that in a minute. People are messaging me that, I'm seeing monoclonal treatments all over Florida. There are and this is not DeSantis' fault. This is because the federal government wanted to screw DeSantis, so they bought up all the monoclonal antibody treatments, so they've created a fake shortage. I found this out. When Steve told me a couple Saturdays ago that he had COVID, I went online to get him an appointment for the monoclonal antibody treatment. And there's all kinds of places where you can to make appointments to get the monoclonal antibody treatments. And you go through a process, you got to fill out a lot of information, and then you find out there are no appointments available because they don't have the monoclonal antibody treatment. So just because you see a place online where you can make appointments doesn't mean that they have it and are giving out appointments, okay? Okay, so One American News, we were talking about this earlier in the week, and there's a major update, and I got some audio to play. One America News has been canceled by AT&T. AT&T owns DirecTV. Their contract is up in April, and DirecTV is dropping One American News. I'm a little unclear as to whether AT&T is dropping them from their regular cable system or not. But Eric Bolling said on Newsmax TV a couple of days ago, it was the last segment of his show 2 days ago, that DirecTV is receiving 90% of their revenue based on their exposure through DirecTV AT&T. Well, one of their hosts on Monday night, Dan Bell, ended his show talking about AT&T shutting down One American News. And there's no doubt about it, it's political. Now, it's just so you know, the chairman of AT&T, right, the chairman of the board at AT&T, his name is William Kennard. He was the chairman of the FCC under Bill Clinton, and Barack Obama made him ambassador to the European Union. So the guy's very liberal, right? Well, Dan Bell ended his show on Monday night talking about what's going on with One American News, and now he's enlisting the help of his viewers to stop AT&T from canceling One American News, and the way he's doing it is crazy. Listen to this. This is Dan Bell. Any of you guys know Dan Bell? He's very good on One American News. Listen to this.
I'm going to remind you every single day from now through April, when our contract is allegedly going to be up with DirecTV, that we need your help. If you want free speech, if you want freedom of the press like I do, if you enjoy watching One American News and this program, Real America, then please help us, folks. That is the chairman of AT&T, William Kennard. You heard me earlier describe who he is, his background, his connections to the Obamas and the Clintons for decades. Call AT&T's support line.
Okay, now, and then he puts the support line number up on the screen. And that seems normal. Call AT&T and tell them, demand it. Keep One American News on the air. Well, he's gone a step further over there. Listen to this.
Complain. Raise hell. Email, phone call, daily, every hour. Set the alarm on your phone. Blow the phone lines up. Demand they keep OAN. This is censorship at its best. Folks, this man is doing nothing but a political maneuver by pressuring DirecTV, since they own 70% of them, to take us off the air. And oh, by the way, I'll just add this at the end. If you've got any dirt on Mr. Kennard,
oh, see, now here's the part. This is insane. And he gets very specific about the dirt that could help out One American News the most.
to take us off the air. And oh, by the way, I'll just add this at the end. If you've got any dirt on Mr. Kennard, I'd love to see it and put it on this program. You bring me concrete evidence of whatever it may be, cheating on his taxes, cheating on his wife, saying racial slurs towards white people. Folks do that. Whatever it may be, find it for me. Bring it, and we'll air it. Dirty little sins.
Oh, I love it. Let me go back. I love it. Cheating on his wife. Let us know, and we'll air it. I love it. Oh, my goodness.
Pressuring direct.
This is the best.
20% of them to take us off the air. And oh, by the way, I'll just add this at the end. If you've got any dirt on Mr. Kennard, I'd love to see it and put it on this program. You bring me concrete evidence of whatever it may be, cheating on his taxes, cheating on his wife, saying racial slurs towards white people.
Oh my Oh my God. Oh my gosh, saying racial slurs against white people. Oh, this guy Dan Bell, I take back, oh my goodness. I've said in the past that One American News was boring. I was wrong. One American News seemed boring because I wasn't watching Dan Bell. This guy is the best. I love this guy. Let me finish it up. I love this guy.
DirecTV, since they own 70% of them, to take us off the air. And oh, by the way, I'll just add this at the end. If you've got any dirt on Mr. Kennard, I'd love to see it and put it on this program. You bring me concrete evidence of whatever it may be, cheating on his taxes, cheating on his wife, saying racial slurs towards white people. Folks do that. Whatever it may be, find it for me. Bring it, and we'll air it. Everybody's got dirty little sins and secrets they're hiding. And this man deserves to have them exposed for what he's doing to not only this network, the owners, the hundreds of employees, but you, the viewers, who want a fair and honest and truthful voice. Don't let them do this to you, folks, by taking OAN off the air. We need your help.
Okay, now, I was so excited. His name is Dan Ball. Dan Bell's another guy. Dan Bell has a YouTube channel called Another Dirty Hotel Room, which you should check out. He stays in cheap hotel rooms, takes a black light, and films them. And he also has a Dead Mall series. But no, Dan Ball. This guy, Dan Ball, is the best. I have never heard someone on television say anything like that. Now, they might pull the plug a little early on Dan Ball. Oh, Dan Ball is out. Who is this guy? I don't know who he is. I knew what he looked like because I have seen him in some promos for One American News. I know nothing about Dan Ball, but I think we all need to know something about him because this guy, I love him. I love him. Oh my goodness. I have never heard anyone in television go public like this. In broadcasting, when people get fired, these people that at AT&T are stupid. When someone is fired from radio or television, they tell them after they're off the air for the day, and they don't let them back on the air because they're afraid that they'll do something like Dan Ball just did. So one of the reasons you've never heard anything like this is because they said we're firing you, One American News. They usually just pull the plug. Dan Ball. You should check out Dan Bell too on YouTube. Another Dirty Hotel Room and his Dead Mall series. Be ready for some crazy stuff on YouTube. But this guy's the best. And if things don't work out at One American News, Dan Ball, you know what I'd like to see Dan Ball do? I'd like to see him become the official spokesperson for President Trump. I'd like to see this guy go up against the media asking those questions in his second term at the White House press secretary job. Newsmax TV should hire Dan Ball. If One American News does not survive, they should hire Dan Ball. You know why? Because he's got balls. I mean, this is amazing. Oh man. I don't know anything about him. I've seen him before, just like in promos. I know nothing about him. Oh, my goodness. So this is a story in Mediaite, which is left-wing. On Monday, Dan Ball ended his show by imploring viewers to send him any dirt they may have on AT&T board chairman William Kennard. William Kennard was chairman of the Federal Communications Commission under President Bill Clinton and ambassador to the European Union under President Barack Obama. He said the decision to drop the network is censorship at its best and a political maneuver. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. According to One American News' chief executive, the idea for the network belonged to AT&T, which wanted to create a conservative alternative to Fox News. Really? I don't know. Oh, my goodness. This guy's not boring. I'm sorry I've been saying that about One American News. I was wrong about One American News. Oh, my gosh. That is the opposite of boring. Dan Ball. All right. Let's take our... cheating on his wife. I love it. Oh, my goodness. All right. Let me give out the number. Your thoughts on everything I've brought up so far this morning. We have more. We've only just begun, just like the Carpenters. 1-888-GO-CANE 1. 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call from anywhere. We'll be back right after this break.
Hey, Brian Craig here. I'm in studio with my wife, Kathy, and she's here to tell you about her experience with the MyPillow mattress topper.
Well, as you know, Brian, I was waking up in pain almost every morning for years and years, and we had bought a new mattress not that long ago, but it still was not doing the trick, so I said to you, let's get the MyPillow mattress topper, and let's see if it helps or makes any kind of a difference. And I have to tell you, after sleeping on it just one night, I woke up no pain. I felt incredible. It made a huge, huge difference for me. And the pain has not returned.
Wow, that's absolutely amazing. Now go to MyPillow.com and order your MyPillow mattress topper and do what Kathy and I did. Use the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. And this is an incredible deal because with the promo code KANE, you will save 30% off the MyPillow mattress topper and get 2 free MyPillows. But you've got to use the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. It comes in every size too, from twin all the way up to California King. That's promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com.
Hi, this is Lori Kane, and I want to talk to you about Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental Care. I just love Dr. Gupta. I've been seeing him for around 3 years. He always has time for me. He never does unnecessary work, and his prices are very affordable. And if you need implants, go see him because he has the best prices around. Let me give you the number.
I can't find much about him.
954-922-4633.
Like his background, Dan Ball.
4633, BrightonDentalCare.com. He's just the best.
Brian Craig here. You've heard Steve Kane talk about the great job Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting did on his new roof. We have on the line John from Wellington, one of our regular callers. He just had his roof repaired by Laporta Contracting, and he wanted to share his experience.
Thanks to the Steve Kane Show, my roof repairs were just completed by Laporta Contractors. They were fast, professional, and the cost of the repairs was very reasonable. I had 4 sections of roof repaired, and upon initial inspection, they were honest and told me that my roof was good and I didn't need a new one. I called many roofers, and they were all scammers. They all wanted to put on a new roof, and they said they wouldn't repair what I had. Thanks, Brian. Another fantastic sponsor.
Wow, that's an amazing testimonial from John in Wellington. Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting will never sell you a roof that you don't need. Give him a call for a no-charge inspection of your roof. 954-604-4602. That number rings directly to Tom Laporta's cell phone. 954-604-4602. And online, LaportaContracting.com.
Hi, this is George Corey of the Soul Authority. In this time of social distancing and sheltering in place, many people have been forced.
Well, thank you, Jacqueline. You rock too.
Making it possible for you to still take care of your feet.
Oh my goodness. That Dan Ball. I'm gonna have to play that every hour. The Dan Ball clip. After I'm off the air, check out Dan Bell's Dead Mall series. It's pretty good. The Another Dirty Hotel Room is hard to watch. It'll make you not want to stay in hotels.
597 you from taking care of your feet. Call the Soul Authority today.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for W.
All right, 10 before 7, I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show, on the radio since 1977. All right, let's go to our phones. Our number, toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. Let's go to Richie, the bus driver. Hey, Richie.
Yeah, good morning, Brian. Yeah, I called you last week, and I brought up Dan Ball, and you said we're not talking about that. I've listened to him. He's better than Stitzfield. This guy is so honest. He's so straight up. You know Harmeen Dillon, who's that lawyer from California? He had her red in the face because he said she's wishy-washy. He had an interview when they got in a big fight. He wouldn't back down. He doesn't back down from no one.
Yeah, well, let's hope he doesn't back his way off to silence with this, though. He's very, I've never seen him before. I've seen some promos of him advertising his show. But that moment there, that was from Monday night. That was spectacular television. I like when the part cheats on his wife. I'll go public with it.
This guy every night the show is like this. He doesn't back off anything. He's attacked Fox hosts. He's gone after them.
Well, like I say, if One American News does not survive this and it doesn't look good, Newsmax should hire him.
He's the biggest secret on cable television.
Yeah, he is spectacular. He is spectacular.
I know you haven't worked this up yet. I'm hoping you do because, I watched yesterday Glenn Youngkin's address to the Virginia Congress there, Senate, whatever it is, and he had half the room. It looked like the State of the Union. He had half the room Democrats. Brian, these people are total communists. He got up there and he said, I fired everybody on the parole board Saturday, and not one Democrat stood up. Everybody on the Republican side was cheering because he says crime is getting...
Well, Virginia, this is the thing about Virginia, and this is a wonderful thing, but Glenn Youngkin's going to have a tough governorship. They have a weird system up there. Is it a 2-year term for governor in Virginia? I can't remember. No, you can run again, but not consecutively, I think. Something like that. They got like a weird... But anyway, because Terry McAuliffe was governor of Virginia, and he ran again. But anyway, what Virginia is, you got to understand. Virginia, what is Virginia most famous for? Virginia is most famous for being the capital of the Confederacy, during the Democrat insurrection of the Civil War. And what Virginia has become is a satellite of the D.C. insiders, because everybody that works in D.C. lives in Northern Virginia. And what Glenn Youngkin's going up against isn't just a bunch of Democrat creeps in Virginia. He's going up against the Washington establishment. Look at his order on the mask mandate, and immediately Jen Psaki's tweeting about it because her kids, shockingly, go to public school in Northern Virginia. So he's taking on the same people President Trump's taking on, the swamp of D.C., and that's why Virginia is so important. But he's going to be in for a lot of pain from these people.
Yeah, well, he has a lot of charisma. He's a very intelligent man.
And a snappy dresser. He dresses like Trump. He was wearing... Did you see how he dressed up for the inaugural? Looked like he was on the Titanic, sitting down with Billy Zane for dinner.
What he said yesterday is he's doing this. He says, I never was in politics, but I'm going to put a businessman spin on everything we do.
That's right, just like Donald Trump. But let me tell you, this Dan Ball guy, I'm sorry that I'm not familiar with the guy. I think I'm going to get the One American News app on my TV today and start watching this guy because he is a hidden gem.
You'll never watch Stitzfield.
When is he on?
It's on 8 o'clock.
Oh, okay. No, listen. There's DVRs and everything. You can watch things that are on at the same time at different times.
Trust me, I like Stitzfield. You'll never watch him again. This guy is...
Well, I don't know. All right.
He's like, he attacks Fox on a regular basis, the people on it, not the network. He goes after them. He says they don't basically have the guts to say the truth. He goes, and he's really...
I'll tell you another thing I would do. Dan Bongino And I'm just talking. I've only heard this one clip that I played, which I'm going to play. I think I should play that every hour on the show today because that's wonderful. But here's the thing: Dan Bongino is desperate to get out of his radio show. I mean, you can tell that's why he's doing all this stuff, right? Because he's too overexposed. He's working too hard over on Fox. Give this guy, Dan Ball, the Bongino radio show. Oh my goodness, this guy! I'm not.
His interviews are excellent too, by the way. He interviews everybody. All the big names go on his show, and he is not afraid to mix it up with anybody. I mean, the guy is unbelievable.
Mm-hmm. All right, Richie. All right, take it. Richie, you were right, okay? Dan Ball's very good. That's what Richie really wanted to hear. Richie, you were right. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, my name is Mike, calling from Indiana.
Mike in Indiana. What's on your mind?
How you doing, Brian?
I'm all right. How are you?
I was just wondering why, the media is not held accountable for starting
the media. Listen, the media have always been doing this, and there's something that they don't teach. There's something that the media did that they don't teach anymore, because the media is a partner of the state now. But no. What was the cause of the Spanish-American War, which made Teddy Roosevelt famous? Do you know?
Well, back in the day, it's like we were taking over land.
No. There was an American battleship. No, there was an American battleship in Havana Harbor. It's still there today at the bottom of the harbor, the Maine. And Randolph Hearst, who was the largest owner of newspapers, which was the news of the time, they came up with a phrase. They came up with a fake story that the Maine was attacked, and they had these headlines: "Remember the Maine." And now, many historians and investigators believe the ammunition got us into the Spanish-American War, which was a world war. It wasn't just in Cuba. It was a war. It was a war against Spain. It didn't just go through the Caribbean. We took Puerto Rico in that war, but it was also in the Pacific, in the Philippines. That's how we acquired the Philippines. Was in that war. So, and that was the media. That was the media. No. Well, I'm glad you're talking about that, but I'm talking about it too, just in a different way. Look at Richard Nixon. Okay, why was Richard Nixon forced to resign? What did Richard Nixon do that would have gotten him impeached? He was not impeached. They said he may have been impeached, but we really don't know because it never happened. And if he did get impeached in the House, we don't know what the Senate would have done. Richard Nixon was forced out of office by the media. The media. So, and look at we lost the war in Vietnam, right? Why did we lose the war in Vietnam? Because of the media. Walter Cronkite showing the body bags every night, okay? The media have been undermining this country, causing wars, causing destruction, causing mayhem. This is something they have always done, all right? They have always been lowlifes. They've always been working with the powers that be. If you look at these media companies, and you may have heard this before, news doesn't make money, they claim. Companies lose money on news stations and news networks. That's not true. Media today is owned by major international corporations, like News Corp and things like this, right? The purpose of the media to these companies is to spin and promote things that benefit the company as a whole, not to give you news and information. It's to benefit the international, humongous corporate giant that owns that media outlet. And they do that by getting people concerned about climate change or this incident or that incident, things like this. Don't you get it? The media have always been manipulating us. What's different now is that the people have a way to communicate about what the media is doing to us. Back in the Hearst days or back in the 70s and these other things, we didn't have the ability to speak out against the media in an organized way like we do now and expose what it is that they do. The media have always been lowlives, okay? And they'll continue to be that. All right, 1 hour down, 2 to go. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show, on the radio since 1977, beginning our 45th year of the Steve Kane Show. That's right, on the radio in Florida. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. Hour number 2 begins now.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Hi, Brian Craig here. You've heard Dr. Mitch Matez and Steve Kane.
Well, thank you, Jacqueline.
Talk about their COVID testing at any lab test now of Boca and any lab test now of Coral Springs. I've been tested too. So is Steve Kane.
All right. What am I going to start this hour with? Oh, yes.
And wanted to get tested for coronavirus.
Saki drunk in the press conference yesterday.
Rabbi David. Hey, Rabbi.
By the way, you might hear congestion in my voice. I actually had a lot of congestion. I felt a little sick, and of course, I get nervous that, is it COVID or not? My wife also. So guess what we did? I listened to you. I went down to any lab test now yesterday, and I couldn't believe it. Went right in there. They put a little tiny thing, you didn't feel it in my finger. Literally 10 minutes later, not a second more, they came back and said, "You're fine, negative, great." We went on our way, and we just, not even worried. So
that $69 price is just for Steve Kane Show listeners. You got to mention that, and it's that little finger test. You get it real quick. I'll tell you, anytime somebody has any type of congestion, all of a sudden there's anxiety sets in, not just for them, but everybody around them. It's best just to go in and get the test. Say, I don't have the COVID. You know what I mean? Instead of dealing with all the wonder.
And they give you a piece of paper. Yesterday, I actually walked around with it. When people heard, you don't sound so good, I take out that piece of paper and said, I was tested right here, and I pick up the piece of paper and showed it to them. It says negative. And so
any lab test now of Boca and Coral Springs, they're good people, and we're very lucky to have them.
They're very caring, full of information.
First, we had a doctor recommendation from Dr. Mitch Matez. Now we have a rabbi. Rabbi recommended any lab test now of Boca, any lab test now of Coral Springs for your COVID testing. Yeah, that's great. Rabbi recommended. Any lab test now of Boca and any lab test now of Coral Springs. Rabbi recommended by Rabbi David for COVID testing, rapid coronavirus testing.
I'm going to play that damn ball thing every hour today.
You heard them on the radio.
I think it's so good.
Springs is located on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood near the Coral Square Mall. Their number 954-906-5983. Any lab test now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza where the Western Beef is. Their number 561-237-5009. Make sure you mention you heard them on the radio.
The Steve Kane Show is brought
Yeah, I don't know anything about Dan Ball. Where did he come from?
Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida.
Oh, man. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. And everybody, please like the video. Trying to get to that 50,000 sub number. If you guys can help me get to 50,000 subscribers, I'd be very grateful.
South Florida's longest-running radio show, the Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll-free, dial 1-888-GO-KANE 1. That's 1-888-GO-KANE 1. And now...
All right, hour number 2 has begun. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. This year, celebrating 45 years on the radio in Florida, the Steve Kane Radio Show. All right. Jen Psaki, her press conference yesterday was the most amazing press conference that we have had since Jen Psaki has been the press secretary. She was possibly drunk at the podium, which I'll share with you in a clip in just a moment. You let me know. Does she sound intoxicated to you? But some major news and scandal from the Biden White House leaked out during this press conference. That's right. Listen to this. This is Jen Psaki, possibly drunk. I'm not kidding. Let me know at 1-888-GO-KANE 1. 888-465-2631. Is Jen Psaki intoxicated? And then in this clip, and also in this clip, we get some news. Listen. Wait a second. Live radio, people.
Capacity, that's why we quadrupled the size.
Okay, you hear that? Okay. She was trying to say quadrupled.
Our testing capacity, that's why we quadrupled.
We quadrupled. Okay, now people can misspeak, but she did it more than once.
Our testing capacity, that's why we quadrupled the size of our testing capacity, and why the president had already used the
already. Quadrupled and already. Does Jen Psaki sound drunk to you? Let me know what you think at 1-888-GO-KANE-1. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Conservative Doug, good morning.
Hey, Doug.
You know, I want to just bring something up. I'd like to mention something about AT&T, because I talked to DirecTV. But first, yesterday you had some liberal call up and said that Trump was cheating on
taxes.
Property.
Yes.
Well, Trump, because he lied about his property. First of all, when you go for a mortgage on your property, it doesn't matter what the owner says. It's up to the appraiser.
That's correct. Appraisers appraise the property. That is correct.
And now, if he went for a personal loan or something else and listed all his properties that he has and put values, that's it. That's his idea with it.
Yeah, and that's up to the bank to accept or not. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. So he did nothing wrong. And
all right.
Anyway, I talked to DirecTV. Ready for this? They say it's not them that's canceling it. It's One American News is giving them a hard time because they want a lot more money for their time.
No, you got your stories mixed up. That's Newsmax has been dropped by a couple of small cable systems, and the cable systems are saying that Newsmax wants more money. Yeah, that's not the One American News story. Anyway, thanks for the call, Doug. All right, so let me get back to this, though. This clip where Jen Psaki sounds intoxicated to me, some news was broken. Now, she gets snippy with the reporter. This reporter that gives her a hard time is from the New York Times, the liberal, Trump-hating, Republican-hating New York Times.
Our testing capacity, that's why we quadrupled the size of our testing capacity, and why the president had already used the Defense Production Act to invest $3 billion, but the market did not have the capacity at that moment to do what we're doing tomorrow.
I hear what you're saying, but that's not the question I asked. The question I asked was...
Do you have another question? I think I've answered your question.
President Biden briefed at the time.
Again, I've answered your question. If you have another one, I'm happy to answer it. Otherwise, I'm going to move on to the next person.
I didn't get the answers there, but I'll move on to another one.
Great.
The second question is that in light of President Biden's first year coming to a close, the data indicates that he spent a quarter of his days, at least partially, in Delaware. In light of that, will the White House be reconsidering the decision not to release visitor log information from his Delaware residences?
Okay, now, before we get to the rest of that, I'll rewind so we're going to hear all that over again. This is an interesting thing. Now, again, this is a New York Times reporter, and this New York Times reporter has broken some news, okay? And Jen Psaki is going to go into a pathetic defense, which we'll get into in a moment. Biden has spent 25% of his presidency in Delaware. Okay, all the presidents go home, right? Trump, Mar-a-Lago, his other resort in New Jersey. Bush, too, was always at the Crawford Ranch. Something different here, though. What the guy said, since he's spending so much time there, will the president reconsider releasing his visitor logs? Now we know why Biden is always going to Delaware. The visitor logs are secret. That is where he goes to do his dirty deals. Biden is going to Delaware to meet with all the people that he's doing all his corruption with. And he's holding on to the visitor logs. If he were meeting with these people that he's doing his crime with at the White House, the press would have the visitor logs. But since this is his private home, he has an excuse to keep the visitor logs secret. So that's where he's going there all the time to do crime. That's where he sells the presidency. That's where he does his public corruption. I want to thank the New York Times. Even though they slandered President Trump and Ron DeSantis with this fake feud story, I want to credit them for breaking this news about Biden's corruption. But let me rewind it so you can hear Jen Psaki's pathetic excuse for why he's going to Delaware all the time.
at the time.
Again, I've answered your question. If you have another one, I'm happy to answer it. Otherwise, I'm going to move on to the next person.
I didn't get answers there, but I'll move on to another one.
Great.
The second question is that in light of President Biden's first year coming to a close, the data indicates that he spent a quarter of his days, at least partially, in Delaware. In light of that, will the White House be reconsidering the decision not to release visitor log information from his Delaware residences?
Well, the president goes to Delaware because it's his home. It's also where his son and his former wife are buried.
Okay. Now, this is text. There's a problem with what she said. She said his former wife is buried. Where his late wife is buried. He's still married to her. She passed in that accident. When she says former wife, that implies like they were divorced. Very disrespectful to the memory of Biden's late wife. Okay? Very disrespectful. But whenever Biden is in an interview or a debate, you see him play this card. He talks about his family members who have passed away. I got a sneeze coming on. Hold on, guys. Oh, boy. You sneeze these days, everyone starts yelling COVID. No, just the air popped on over my head. It sometimes does that. He always hides behind his family members who have passed away when he's in trouble. Jen Psaki, because of this visitor log issue being exposed, she didn't know what to do. She was caught off guard because the New York Times is supposed to be friendly. She didn't have an answer to him hiding the visitor logs. So she's hiding behind the relatives too. So let's go back. I mean, this is, but how disrespectful to imply that he was divorced. That is his late wife.
Quarter of his days, at least partially, in Delaware. In light of that, will the White House be reconsidering the decision not to release visitor log information from his Delaware residences?
Well, the president goes to Delaware because it's his home. It's also where his son and his former wife are buried. And it's a place that is obviously close to his heart. A lot of presidents go visit their home when they are president. We also have gone a step further than the prior administration and many administrations in releasing visitor logs of people who visit the White House, and will continue to.
The White House, but not Delaware, where he's meeting. Now, I don't know if it'll be this week or next week, but expect soon video and photos of Biden visiting the graves of his late wife and his son in Delaware, because that's why he goes back there. Really? Are you kidding me? Pathetic, Jen Psaki. Pathetic. But we got some news now. Now we know what's going on. So those of you out there in the press that want a story, the press are all there in Delaware. Keep track of who's coming in to the House. That's who he's doing his dirty dealings with. And notice even at the end, she says they're keeping the visitor logs public to the White House, not to Delaware. That's right. That's right. And, in Miranda Devine's book, Laptop from Hell, Obama, Biden was having meetings at his VP office at the White House with his, the people he was doing corruption with. And Obama stopped him from doing it because there's visitor logs. So he had to start meeting with people off-site where there are no visitor logs. Now he's doing it still. That's what he does. Okay, then, I'll play this other clip. This is CNN with Psaki yesterday giving it to her.
Getting into the president's press conference tomorrow on the eve of his one-year anniversary, he has long said that he would talk straight from the shoulder, I think is his words, to be and to give an honest assessment of things. What is your honest assessment of the last year of the Biden administration, and how can the voting rights failure not be seen as some type of a metaphor for these challenges?
Well, I would say in terms of voting rights, his view is that it's never a good idea not to shoot for the moon with what your proposals are and what you're fighting for. And the alternative is to fight for nothing, and to fight for nothing hard. Okay, so that was CNN. So the first exchange was New York Times. That's CNN, liberal outlets, both of them, really going after Psaki. And the CNN reporter just said that the first year of Biden is a complete failure. Wow. Wow. That's why she sounded drunk there, because she's not, liberals aren't supposed to be attacking her. They're supposed to be helping her. All right, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. That's the number. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
John in Fort Lauderdale.
Hey, John.
Visitor log thing. I want to thank you for that visitor log story. That sums it up because everybody knows we don't have a president. We have in the office.
Well, we have a corrupt public official who sells his office. He's always done it.
That makes so much sense. That's the deal. Now, the question is, we know the Republicans, okay, not a problem. They're going to vote Trump. Maybe I shouldn't say that. I don't want. The Democrats, forget it. They could care less. But that
Well, I wouldn't say so, because that first clip was the New York Times that hates Republicans, and the second clip with the visitor log thing, that was the New York Times. The second clip was CNN. The liberal media want Biden out of the way. They want to run Hillary or somebody else. They're desperate. So they're exposing this scandal. That was the beginning. That was the introduction to a scandal, so people like me would grab onto it and start talking about it to try to stop Biden from running. They want him out of the way. They want to plug it. They really want Hillary. It's obvious, right? Who knows who it'll be? And there are going to be lots of people who want him. Governor Cuomo will probably come out of wherever he's holed up at. And others, Governor in California, Newsom, who knows? But they're trying to soil the reputation of Biden. That was the New York Times, not Fox. So that tells you something.
Interesting. The Democrats know they are on a sinking ship, so now they're like some type of PR repair of some.
Good luck.
Reverse or whatever, Well, I just wanted to thank you for that.
Well, thank you for recognizing my brilliance on the air today. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Now, I want to tell everyone about Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca. They work on all the cars in my family. They work on all the cars in Steve Kane's family. And Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca will never do a repair on your car that your car does not need. Proof of that is with Steve's own family. He sent his son into one of the big name places. There's only like 3 or 4. You can figure it out. And they looked over the car from bumper to bumper. They gave him a printout of repairs and maintenance that the car needed. Then Steve had his son take the car up to Champagne Automotive Repair. Didn't give them the printout from the first place. Had them look the car over bumper to bumper. And then they told him what the car really needed done, which was very little. And then we gave them the printout from the first place, and they went through it and told us everything they said that had to be done that didn't need to be done. The first place stole. They were trying to steal his money, that's for sure. They told Steve's son that he needed $843.12 in repairs and maintenance that the car did not need. $843.12 in repairs and maintenance that the car did not need. When you go to these other places, you're dealing not just with crooks, you're dealing with a salesman. And that salesman's job is to get you to do as much work on your vehicle, whether it needs it or not. And that's what they do. Not Champagne Automotive Repair. They will never do a repair on your vehicle that your vehicle does not need. They work on all makes and models. They work on cars, trucks, sports cars, commercial vehicles, classic vehicles. Whatever you have, they'll work on it. And they do everything too. Give them a call, 561-245-8101. 561-245-8101. If you missed the number of one of our sponsors, go to stevekaneshow.com, click on our sponsor info page. All our sponsors and their contact information is listed there. Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca, 561-245-8101. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio. We'll be right back after this.
This is Lori Kane, and I want to tell you about Brighton Dental Care. I just had a lot of work done, and I avoided going to the dentist for a lot of years because I was afraid of the cost. But I went to Brighton Dental for my free consultation, which, by the way, he offers to all Steve Kane listeners. I had 2 cavities, I needed a crown on top and a crown on the bottom. If I were a horse, they would have put me down. So I scheduled my appointment for the next Saturday because Brighton Dental has Saturday appointments available, and they saved me a ton of money. And I will be a patient for life. life. Don't let cost stop you from taking care of your teeth. Brighton Dental gives Steve Kane listeners incredible discounts on all dental procedures, just like they gave me. Prices are so reasonable.
What the hell?
You don't have to worry about the cost. So call Brighton Dental today at 954-922-4633. That's 954-922-4633. You can visit them at brightondental.com and tell them Lori Kane sent you.
Hi folks, Dr. Matez here, now with the BioStation West Delray. At BioStation West Delray, we continue to offer the highest level of experience and care you can find in the realm of hormone pellet and hormone replacement therapies. But that's just the start. We offer a full array of age management modalities, including state-of-the-art treatments for erectile dysfunction, sexual dysfunction in women, physical and sexual rejuvenation, and quite frankly, any sign or symptom of aging that you may have. And don't forget, we offer the complete array of all cosmetic modalities, including Botox, fillers, lasers, etc. Better energy, better sleep, better performance, and looks to die for. If this all sounds good to you, call us at 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893.
Traveling and need a COVID test? Maybe you need a COVID test at work or school. Stop by Any Lab Test Now of Boca or Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. They offer all the COVID testing panels you need at the lowest prices, including the antibody test. Results in 15 minutes. Any Lab Test Now of Boca is located in the Sandalfoot Plaza, where Western Beef is.
Hey, Chaplain Jethro, if you're in there listening, put your Facebook group information in the chat room again. I was watching Chaplain Jethro does a, is it daily? I'm not sure how many days a week he does it, but he does a, well, I'll let you describe what it is.
906-5983. Make sure to tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show. Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
Alrighty, welcome back. 21 minutes after the hour, I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. 45 years on the radio this year, the Steve Kane Radio Show. Welcome back. 1-888-GO-KANE-1. CNN, you would almost think this is a joke. One of the managing editors of CNN tweeted out some new job openings they have at CNN. This is one of the managing editors of Fake News CNN. Listen to this. Alex Kopelman is his name. And I just tweeted this out yesterday. Hello, Twitter. Some very exciting news from CNN. Hello, Twitter. Some very exciting media jobs to tell you about. I'm hiring 3 people for a new CNN team dedicated to covering misinformation. Now, does that mean it's a team that's going to cover CNN and their misinformation, like the Russia hoax, Michael Avenatti, and all the rest? Hello, Twitter. Some very exciting media jobs to tell you about. I'm hiring 3 people for a new CNN team dedicated to covering misinformation. Thread about the team and job starts here. Please feel free to share far and wide, and if you're interested, reach out and apply at the links. What do we mean by covering misinformation? Really, it's about covering reality, the uses, abuses, and distortions of it, the people twisting it, and the effect that it has on all of us. We already do a lot of important work on this. We want to do more. So they're looking for producers and reporters at CNN for the special covering misinformation team. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It's hard to say that they lie more than MSNBC, with all the Russia hoax and all this, but they certainly lie at least as much as MSNBC. They just have more viewers. And sadly, unfortunately, they're considered like, the gold standard. I'm not sure if you've heard this story because I don't know how much reporting has been done on it. But the January 6th Kangaroo Committee, they have called as a witness Ray Epps. And this is in the Post-Millennial. January 6th, Ray Epps, who has been seen apparently trying to egg on protesters ahead of the Capitol riot, is slated to sit for a transcribed interview Friday with the January 6th committee. Politico reported that an attorney representing Epps confirmed Friday's event in a phone interview as skeptics continue to speculate that the FBI orchestrated the breach. Epps has been accused of being a Fed-protected provocateur. He was captured on tape encouraging others to enter the Capitol and then disappeared without explanation from the FBI's most wanted list last summer, as reported by Revolver News. But what we're not getting about this story is what are we going to see of this? Is it going to be televised? I don't think so. They don't want you to see this. And, a lot of people have been, McEnany testified in front of the committee last week, and nothing has leaked out. Now, there's one other news story involving the Capitol breach, involving Ashley Babbitt out of the Gateway Pundit. And I looked at the photos that are being described here, and this is amazing. Now, remember, Ashley Babbitt, who was killed by that police officer, the police officer was acquitted in the shooting death of Ashley Babbitt. The investigators did not even interview the cop, the lieutenant, and they cleared him. New footage from investigative reporter Taylor Hansen shows Ashley Babbitt attempting to stop protesters from entering the Speaker's lobby on January 6th. She was shot dead moments later by Lieutenant Mike Byrd. And I'm watching. You see her there, and these are amazing photographs. Ashley Babbitt is seen desperately trying to prevent rioters from vandalizing the doors leading to the Speaker's lobby at the U.S. Capitol on January 6th, even stepping between one troublemaker and police officers guarding the doors, a video analysis shows. Frame-by-frame video evidence analyzed by the Epoch Times paints a vastly different picture of Babbitt's actions than that portrayed in media accounts over the past year. News media regularly painted Babbitt as a violent rioter, an insurrectionist who was angrily trying to breach the Speaker's lobby. Video clips appear to show that she tried to prevent the attack, not join it. Video shot by John Sullivan, also known as Jade Nex, shows Babbitt tried to stop the violence against the Speaker's lobby at least 4 times before she climbed into a broken window and was shot by U.S. Capitol Police Lieutenant Michael Byrd. At one point, she was so distressed at the violence, she was jumping up and down in frustration. Ashley was not violent, and she was also denied her military funeral. Her family was denied that, which I don't understand why that was. What does it take to be denied your military funeral? She served, I think, 14 years in the Air Force? She's entitled to that. Her family are entitled to that. And she was denied that. And, President Trump has a rally in Texas a week from Saturday night. I would like him to tell us that when he is reelected in 2024, that he will give Ashley Babbitt's family the military funeral that they and Ashley Babbitt are entitled to. But this new information, look for this to be covered up. Look for this to be disappeared. The story I just shared is at thegatewaypundit.com if you want to check it out and share it with your friends. And you do see her trying to stop the people from going into the door. All right, 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian from cold Wisconsin.
Hey, Wisconsin, Gary. What's going on?
You brought up a lot of good points. I do believe that Trump, once he gets back in office, Ashley Babbitt will get those military rights that she deserves.
Oh, yes.
I do believe that'll happen. But you brought up 2 good points between the news media and also with Trump-DeSantis supposedly feud. Since 1950, from the research that I've done, most of the media has always been for the liberal side. And, you've also mentioned, too, how some of them make money, how some of them don't. I think sometimes the news media ends up going to that person and say, hey, if you give us this amount of money, we'll let you on the show for this. And that's how a lot of these news medias end up staying in business other than advertising.
Yeah.
Carries into the Trump-DeSantis supposed argument, I'm going to use an analogy like this. If you've ever seen seagulls, how all of a sudden they usually wait on a building if they're right by a place of where you eat at, and let's say you drop a piece of bread or something down on the ground. That's how the news media basically is. They're going to hurry up and flock to that, even though there has not been any visual or audio of that conversation between DeSantis saying this to Trump or vice versa.
That's right.
The news media, being seagulls, are trying to fight a narrative to try to split MAGA because they know their own Democratic Party that they're supporting the most is basically that the Democrats are going down the tubes because of how Biden is taking care of everything, and of course his corrupt dealings in Delaware, which almost leads to like another thing like Hillary having a private server in the house, but that's another story.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's how it basically is. There is no way, shape, or form that there's going to be a split in MAGA, because I believe DeSantis should finish out his term as governor because he's got unfinished work in Florida. And Kerry Lake, I don't know how long the term is there in Arizona is, but I think by the time Trump is done with his final term, DeSantis will be done with his final term, and then he should get Kerry Lake as his VP, because then all of a sudden we will start seeing America that we want, we love, just like under President Trump.
Yeah, and, you know, they're not going to let Ron DeSantis run for vice president. There's a clause in the Constitution that the president and vice president, if they're from the same state, cannot get the electoral college votes of that state. And Florida's got a lot of electoral college votes. Now, Bush and Cheney were both from Texas, and Cheney, what he did is he had another house in Wyoming. He went and got a Wyoming driver's license. And since they're part of the establishment, the media didn't make a big deal of it. The media and the establishment would throw a fit if DeSantis started running with Trump as his running mate. I don't think that's going to happen because of that, as much as it would be spectacular.
There's an issue about him being at Mar-a-Lago and that it couldn't be his resident state. So if he ended up considering New York as his home state, or his...
No, he's an official... President Trump's an official resident of Florida. He has a home there. And you know what? Donald Trump's got a couple of dollars. He can buy a second home down the street from Mar-a-Lago.
He could.
But he's a resident of Florida. He's a resident of Florida. But yeah, you're absolutely right about the media. Your media description of what happened with this fake news story. There's no fight. There's no feud between Trump and DeSantis. It's all lies. It came from the New York Times, the unnamed sources. No one in Trump or DeSantis's inner circle are giving any inside information to the New York Times, and the rest of the media have just plagiarized that first slanderous story from the New York. Waiting in line was 04, was about an hour, and it was well worth it. All right, Gary, I got to take our break, but thanks for the call and some good points as always. All right, let's take our break for the bottom of the hour. We'll be right back.
Brian Craig here. Conservative Doug called me up live on the air to tell me about his experience at Friendly Tire.
I had two ball tires in the back of my Infiniti. So I called them up, and I always check prices first. Half the price of everybody else.
Half the price?
And
half the price at Friendly Tire. Wow.
Half the price, and not only that, his tires, which the tires I look at, had any mileage guarantee. That is a 60,000 mile warranty. So they're not only half the price, the price is good.
So you're a repeat customer over there at Friendly Tire. You bought new tires, right? So you bought new tires, because they also sell used tires, starting at just $30 for most sizes. But you bought new tires, and they were half the price at Friendly Tire than at the other tire shops around town. That is phenomenal, and came with a 60,000 mile warranty on the tires. That's great. And of course, Friendly Tire, they never charge you to mount the tire, balance the tire, or dispose of your old tires. The price that they give you are out the door and on the road. And
everybody should go there. I don't know how anybody can buy tires as anyplace else. This guy is the best basis.
That's right. That's right. Listen, give Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire a call. His number, 954-977-9445. He'll give you a quote right over the phone, 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net, or you can just stop right in. The address is listed at stevekaneshow.com. 5415 Northwest 15th Street in Margate, and that's just a little north of Coconut Creek Parkway on the east side of 441 State Road 7. Well, Conservative Doug, thanks so much, and I'm glad you got such a great deal on your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate. Well, we're entering the third year of COVID. It hit the country hard. It hit the country hard for a lot of reasons, but one of the reasons that we were hit the hardest is we weren't prepared when it came to PPE, because everything was manufactured in China. On the line, we have former Congressman David Emery. He's now CEO of Strategic Manufacturers, a subsidiary of SBDG. He wants to bring PPE manufacturing back here to the United States. David Emery, what's the big deal about nitro gloves and PPE?
Well, you said it in the introduction. We weren't prepared. Well over 90% of the gloves that we use are manufactured overseas. We were gouged. So your average physician, nurse, emergency worker simply couldn't get the gloves to keep them and their patients safe. And that's intolerable.
A lot of people say you can't make anything in the United States anymore. It's too expensive. It costs too much. We don't have the materials here. How are you going to bring production of PPE to the United States?
Well, the reason we can't is because we haven't. We gave it up. It was a policy for 3 or 4 decades that we build all the fancy stuff here and all the average stuff we import. And now we're paying the price for it. We certainly can build things here. We have the skills, but we have to have the willpower to do so. And that is the central focus of SMI. Bring manufacturing back to the United States. Through our analysis and our due diligence, we believe this is not only profitable, but will lead the way for other companies in the future to continue the trend to remove dependence on foreign resources for critical materials.
Now, people who are in the listening audience who want to participate, who want to help make us independent when it comes to PPE, how can they participate?
Well, go to our website, sbdgstock.com, and you'll find additional information. Investment opportunities are available for accredited investors. And if you're an accredited investor, you'll know what that means. But it's really critical for American citizens, government, policymakers, business and industry, labor, to get behind this effort to bring manufacturing of strategic materials, critical materials, back to the United States. And that is what SMI is all about.
To learn more about Strategic Manufacturers or to get information on becoming an investor, call 919-654-6870. 919-654-6870. Online, strategicmanufacturers.com.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search.
All right, 38 minutes after the hour, I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show, beginning its 45th year on the radio. The Steve Kane Show here in Florida, 45 years. And that's because of all of you out there. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE1. Feel free to call in and discuss anything I brought up on the air so far this morning. I want to talk a little bit, though, this crime wave that's going on, in particular, this girl who was stabbed to death at the furniture store in L.A. LAPD has identified Brianna Comfort's killer as a career criminal with dozens of arrests, who is out on a $1,000 bail, as they tell the public not to approach this armed and dangerous suspect and have launched a manhunt. The LAPD has identified Sean Laval Smith, age 31, as the man wanted in the murder of UCLA grad student Brianna Comfort. He's a career criminal with a lengthy rap sheet with arrests in Charlotte, South Carolina, and California. At the time of the murder, Smith was free on a $1,000 bond in L.A. for an unknown misdemeanor. He also appears to have been on a $50,000 bond from Charleston, South Carolina on a shooting charge. Police Tuesday released chilling images of a man thought to be Smith buying a vape pen after he murdered Brianna. Brianna, 24, was working alone in the luxury furniture store Croft House when she was killed. LAPD said Tuesday she texted a friend to say someone in the store was giving her a bad vibe. The suspected killer was spotted about 30 minutes later at a convenience store in the area. He was seen calmly purchasing a vape pen. I know, I've seen the video. It's creepy. While dressed in all black, wearing a distinctive backpack. Brianna's father has slammed politicians for exposing communities to people that are falling out the bottom. Her father, Todd, said leaders in L.A. have been championing people that rob others of their rights. The district attorney of L.A. is under fire for failing to crack down on violence and the surging crime. Last year, homicides in Los Angeles rose 52%, shootings up 59%. Okay. There's a couple of factors into the crime spree that we're seeing in Los Angeles and in New York. There's two. The one that everyone's talking about are the liberal woke politicians that see these criminals as victims. That is true. They're soft on crime. Here you got a guy, he's out on bond on 2 crimes. One involves a weapon. You know? Why is somebody like this out on bond? Why did that weapons charge that he's out on bond for in Charleston not keep him locked up in Los Angeles on whatever this misdemeanor charge was? And in New York, they're not even doing bail anymore. So the woke leftist politicians who are sympathetic to criminals are not locking them up. So they have no fear of being locked up, so they're going out and doing crime. But this guy, he was in the furniture store for 4 minutes. It looks like, I mean, it's a obviously, it's a god-awful tragedy. He stabbed her to death, and she was scared when she saw him. And she was found by another customer, and I think she was still alive fighting for her life at that point. And she may not have been, but my understanding is she was. It's a little cloudy, that part of the story. It doesn't look like he sexually assaulted her. So at least he didn't do that before he stabbed her to death. But no one's really talking about what motivated this guy to kill this girl. And I think it's pretty obvious. It's the fault of the left. You know, he's an African-American man who killed a white girl. The media, the Democrats, have angered African Americans up against white people so much. You know, blacks oftentimes, and I think it's true with this murderer in Los Angeles from the furniture store, feel justified in any action they take against white people because they believe, they've been brainwashed to believe, white people are all out to get them and destroy them. You know, you watch The View, you know, they want to take away your right to vote, they want to enslave you again, etc., etc. They're hiding your history, their families brought you here in chains, and this is a racial rage killing, I believe, at the furniture store, just like the Wisconsin Christmas parade massacre. And the people that are responsible for it are the Joy Reids and the Tiffany Crosses and the Don Lemons and all the rest. You know, you don't have total free speech in this country. There are limitations on our free speech. And I know you can't yell fire in a crowded theater. That is not true. You can yell fire in a crowded theater if there's a fire. You can't do something that instigates violence, okay? And when you are saying things that are causing people to go out and commit violence against others, that's when you're in the realm of not free speech, but inciting violence. I believe that the Christmas parade massacre with the car, that guy, I think, was driven to do that, no pun intended, by Joy Reid and others over the Rittenhouse verdict and the racial aspect of it. By the weekend, when these leftist lunatics on MSNBC get together, they're going to tell, this guy's going to be in custody, dead or alive, anytime now, right? He's not a master criminal. And what you're going to see from the leftist media is how, well, he killed a white girl. Look how quick they picked up that guy. Let me tell you, this is L.A. I sound like Sheryl Crow, right? And all I want to do. This is L.A. Chances are the murdered girl and her family are liberal Democrats. They're lifelong residents of Southern California. But they'll still play that route. No, this was a girl who was just working her way through college. Comes from a great family. And a monster came in and killed her for nothing. I don't even know if there was a robbery involved. Did he steal money for the vape pen from the furniture store? Or was he just out there to kill a white girl? This is a hate crime. A hate crime that he was driven to by the mainstream liberal media that call everything white supremacy and racist. The critical race theory pushers. That's why this happened. I'll tell you another thing, okay? Girls should not be working alone. Girls should not be working alone in any establishment. Okay? Guys are creeps. I've seen this many times in stores where creepy guys are coming in, hitting on the girls that are stuck there because they're working all the time. You know, girls should not be working alone. Even two girls. There should always be a man there. And it's unfortunate. I know sometimes in a small business like this celebrity furniture store in La Brea, where this animal came in and killed this college student, Brianna. That's the female version of Brian. Brian, the female, is Brianna. That's right. But you parents out there, even if you have an adult daughter, if your daughter is working somewhere and she's ever there alone, have her quit that job. It's not safe, it's not right, and it's dangerous like this. But I want to hear your thoughts on this furniture store killing of this poor girl by this guy that's out on 2 bails, one for a shooting incident. Do you believe that this was racially motivated? And I'll tell you why I say it's racially motivated, not just because it's black on white. He was in there 4 minutes and he stabbed her to death. And most murders involve, not all, most murders involve money and sex. Money and sex. And I don't know how much money is in a register at a place like this. Probably everybody's paying with Apple Pay and American Express Platinum cards and American Express Black cards. And I didn't see anything about her being sexually assaulted. The only other motivation I could see is that he hates Whitey. I want to hear your thoughts on that. 1-888-GO-KANE-1. If you're on hold, stand by. We'll take a quick break and be right back after this. Don't go anywhere.
Hey guys, Brian Craig here. I have the MyPillow slippers at Mike Lindell. He's right. These are the most comfortable slippers.
Steve Kane Show.
And you can get them for 40% off.
Hold on.
With the promo code Kane.
Steve Kane Show. Hold on.
One of our listeners called in on the air and told us about his experience with the MyPillow My Slippers.
Brian, I have the MyPillow slippers, and I have neuropathy. These are fantastic slippers.
Really? Which ones do you have? Which style do you have?
The fur-lined one.
Oh, the slip-on fur-lined ones?
Yeah, inside, outside.
What is neuropathy and what are the symptoms?
Well, the nerves in your feet start going bad, and it affects your balance, and it's painful.
this all sounds good to you, call us at 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893.
Steve Kane Show. Hold on. Steve Kane Show. Hold on. I got an email here from a very snotty listener. Won't call me on the air, sends me an email telling me I need to do some homework and research. I'll read it on the air later in the show. Steve Kane Show. Steve Kane Show. Hold on.
954-597-7060 or online at thesoulauthority.com. That's TheSole authority.com. Tell them Steve Kane sent you.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWN.
All right, we're back. 8 before 8. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, the longest running radio show on the air in the state of Florida, celebrating 45 years on the radio since 1977. This year, the Steve Kane Show. All right, let's go right to the phones. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, good morning. Brian Lewis from Plantation. Hope you're doing well.
All right. What's up, Lewis and Plantation?
Hey, man. Listen, real quick, my heart goes out to that father who lost his daughter, and I agree with you. You know, any young lady, anyone within the sound of my voice right now, you have a young lady, a daughter, should not be alone in any store, in any environment at all where public come in and out. Tragically, we learn from these things. Hopefully, we do learn as a country that we're a very different country right now, and much.
Well, what do you think, though? I mean, there was no robbery to speak of. There was no sexual assault. To me, it seems like he killed her just because he hates white people. Seems racial.
Yeah. I mean, anybody could, on that point, anybody could speculate basically just on that, of course. You know, that could be a possibility and very likely. But just the mere fact that there's so many, I mean, last night I was channel surfing and saw what's happening on Skid Row in L.A. I'd be deathly afraid to visit L.A. or Chicago or New York right now or any of these liberal cities.
Well, New York in particular. L.A. is I just saw Lori Loughlin, the actress that went to prison for academic dishonesty. Some people just broke into her house and stole all her jewelry. I just saw in the news this week. There's a massive crime wave going on in these liberal cities, and the victims, like the perpetrators, are all liberal.
Yeah, exactly. And then if you tie in what's happening at the southern border and the cities out there in Texas and all those, anything lining up around the border, any of those states, you can.
Well, like you're calling from Plantation. I used to live in Plantation. When my wife and I were first married, we had a condo in Plantation over by City Hall in a place called the French Quarter. And we came home one day, and I went on the back porch, and somebody had ripped our screen on the back porch, cut it. And I smelled marijuana, and I called the police because I wanted to report it for I don't know what's going on. Are there burglars around? Were they breaking in and were startled when we came home? I was at my back door. I called the police. There were 2 police cars at my front door before I got to the front door. That's how fast the police response was. And at least when I was living there, I don't know how it is now. It was a very low crime area because the police response was fast. It was swift, and they didn't play games no matter what. And criminals don't like neighborhoods like that. They like places like L.A. and New York where the police are afraid of you. They don't respond. There's no bail. All these things. Well, hell no, not at all. Not at all. Thank you for the call. And this, you New Yorkers out there, this mayor that you have. You know, Greg Kelly on Newsmax shared this last week. Only 3% of New Yorkers voted for Eric Adams for mayor. They have low voter turnout in New York City. And, he's nervous about the subway and this big event. I didn't hear him say, we're declaring an emergency in the city of New York. If you do crime, you are going to jail and you will be held on high bail. I didn't hear him talk about suspending this no bail crap and everything else. I didn't hear the mayor do anything other than some feel-good nonsense in that press conference, and he's being celebrated all over the media with it. He should come out and say, we got a problem here. People can't get on the subway without getting killed. If you do crime, you're getting locked up and you're not getting out. Any of you hear anything like that at all? I didn't. And it didn't come from Eric Adams, because all Eric Adams cares about is getting reelected in 4 years. And I guess he thinks criminals are his constituency. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. There's only one opening on the board. And one of these lines I know is Janet Cimarelli from AJ's Natural Wellness Shop in Pompano at the Festival Marketplace. I don't know which one it is. So I'm going to take it at random, and it may be Janet Cimarelli. It may not. We'll find out. Good morning.
Good morning.
No, that is Janet Cimarelli. There, see, I'm telling you, I'm going to go play roulette at the casino. So what do you have for us today, Janet?
Yesterday on Health Matters, the show that I do on Tuesday, I talked about brain, and I talked about how important it is to understand there are foods out there that actually poison your brain, so stay away from those artificial sweeteners. Stay away from fluoride. Did people know that if you're using toothpaste that contains fluoride, fluoride is a brain toxin? Stay away from the MSG. And then think about coming in and talk to us about all of the things that you can do to enhance your brain, your memory, your concentration, your recall. So if you're studying for exams, people who need to really concentrate and then remember what they're studying, come on in and talk to us, because we have Janet's Best Brain. Best Brain has all of the different components that are supportive of your brain cells. We have Life Extension Cognitex. We have a variety of different omega-3s, the ones that are very high in DHA. That's the part of the omega-3 that literally fuels your brain cells. We have CoQ10 that's going to bring oxygen to your brain. So we have that whole profile of components. You come in and talk to us and tell us about what particular brain function you're dealing with that isn't what you want it to be, and we can point you specifically to the right product that will make a change. And people come back and they tell us, I wouldn't have believed it, that taking a vitamin was going to make such a big change in my brain. So stay away from the toxins. Use fish, use blueberries, dark chocolate's the good news. So that's the food selection that's going to be supportive of your brain. Stay away from that MSG. You might think about staying away from too much sugar. That's a negative as well. Mm-hmm. When you take the supplements, after you've addressed those food issues, you take the supplements that we talk about, fantastic results. Concentration, focus, recall, and no searching for words. All good things.
Yeah, and Janet Cimarelli is a licensed nutrition counselor. She introduced Steve Kane and me to vitamins, to nutraceuticals, and alternative health back in 1998. She knows more than anyone I've ever known. She's incredibly knowledgeable, and she is available for free counseling at AJ's Natural Wellness Shop. You do have to make an appointment to do that. You can bring in your latest blood work results. If you have them, she'll go over them with you. And you can call ahead to make an appointment to have that no-charge counseling session with Janet Cimarelli at 954-317-8888. 1851. 954-317-1851. AJ's Natural Wellness Shop in the Festival Marketplace. Very easy to find. Everyone knows the festival. The festival is immediately east of the Turnpike on the south side of Sample Road in Pompano. AJ's, easy to find. Right before the food court, look west. You see the information booth? That's where AJ's is. All right, Janet, we'll talk tomorrow.
We will.
All right.
And Pompano Beach.
I Will Advocates. Debbie, what is I Will Advocates, and how are you helping seniors?
Well, Brian, over the past few years, if you're having a problem at the doctor's office, having problems scheduling an appointment in a timely manner, we can step in. If you're having issues at the pharmacy, having problems refilling a prescription, or feel that you're being mischarged for something, you can contact us and we will step in. Even if you're at the hospital and you feel like you're being neglected, we'll be there for you at a touch of a button, whether it's to call the nurse's station or assist in any other way.
So if someone's in the hospital, they feel they're not getting the care that they need, they haven't seen their doctor, they haven't seen their nurse, they can actually call the nurse's station and contact the hospital for them?
Absolutely. We act as your family. We'll step up, we'll call the nurse's station and ask for some assistance. If we can't get anything done there, we'll go to the higher levels.
Now, this is a service that you're offering. Now, they do not have to be an existing client of I Will Advisors to take advantage of this, right?
Oh, of course not. No, we're here for any Medicare client. We can assist in any way. We don't need to be your insurance agent. We're just here to help you with your medical needs.
This is an incredible
What the?
opportunity
Here we are.
for those of you who are Medicare recipients. Debbie at I Will Advocates will help you with your prescriptions. You'll set up doctor's appointments for them, including the primary care physician and specialist, right?
Of course. We'll assist in anything to help you find new doctors.
They'll help you with your medical billing. They'll help you with your insurance billing. If you feel you've been billed wrong by your doctor, they'll step in for that and even help you if you're in the hospital. Basically, what you're offering is a concierge service to senior citizens.
That's exactly it.
That's amazing. I've never heard of anything like this before. So how much does this cost?
Well, for just $20 a month, you will have the security of knowing that you have an experienced, compassionate advocate just a touch of a button away.
To learn more, call Debbie's office. The number 954-345-1214. 954-345-1214. Or go online. You can sign up online at iwilladvocates.com. That's iwilladvocates.com.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll-free, dial 1-888-COCAINE-1. That's 1-888-COCAINE-1. And now...
All right, hour number two. I'm getting like Biden. I don't even know what time it is. Hour number 3 has just begun. The show's so good. It's going by so fast. It only seems like 1 hour has passed. But no, this is the 3rd hour of Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 45 years of The Steve Kane Show on the radio this year. Welcome back, everyone. I want to say this. Steve and I, we're here. If you've got a beef with us, including a correction, we take your calls live on the air. You know, I got a lot of these know-it-alls always messaging me and everything, and I want to share one from Robert. You'll know who it is, Robert. You'll know it's you when I read your email. Just got an email today about something I said. I love these people that always say, do your research, read a book. I want to share this email, and it's about President Trump running with Ron DeSantis as his running mate, okay? I was talking about earlier. You have been informing people about POTUS and Vice POTUS not eligible, that's President of the United States, not eligible for electors from same state. Please do some homework. And you will find the constitutional rule applied when the vice president was selected by the candidate with the second most votes in the election. Not true today. They run on the same ticket by party. Okay, couple things about this. Okay, you may be right about that to a certain extent. But having a president and vice president from the same state is what they call untested constitutional law. Okay? And there is no problem with it. As I said earlier, President Bush, GW, and Vice President Cheney, war criminal, responsible for wars based on lies. He's got his sick daughter with this kangaroo January 6th committee. Okay? But Dick Cheney and G.W. Bush both lived in Texas. They got around it. Cheney got a driver's license. But these guys are deep state establishment. When you're dealing with the opponents of Trump, okay, they will stop at nothing, and they're not going to let the Constitution get in their way. They would not let this stand, okay, having the president and vice president from the same state. They would not let it stand. So you can do your homework. These are lowlives who impeached a president who was no longer in office. All right? These are people that have hundreds of American citizens locked up in the D.C. Gitmo for minor breaking and entering charges and vandalism charges. They've had them in there a year and have denied them their due process. You're not dealing with people that care about the Constitution or go by it. So do your homework, Robert. And by the way, grow some balls and call the show as opposed to hiding behind your keyboard. All right, 1-888-GO-CANE-1 is our number. It's a toll-free call. 1-888-465-2631. Toll-free call from anywhere, no matter where you're listening to us at. 1-888-GO-CANE-1. All right, so I know. Boy, oh boy. Now, I played this audio in the first hour. I said I was going to play it in every hour, and I didn't get to it in the last hour. But I'm going to play this for you now. Again, because this is just spectacular and beautiful, and I want to make sure everyone in this listening audience hears this. Okay. Someone who is new to me, Dan Ball is his name. He's the 8 o'clock primetime host on One American News. One American News is being canceled by AT&T on DirecTV. Eric Bolling on Newsmax said earlier this week, One American News receives 90% of their revenue from that. So they may not be able to survive as an outlet after this. The chairman of the board for AT&T was appointed to the FCC commission by Clinton and was ambassador to the EU for Obama. And Dan Ball is not going away quietly. This clip, I just found this morning before I came to the radio station. But this was from his program Monday Night. And I'll say this. Monday night, and he went after the chairman of the board of AT&T, and he has done something that I have never heard anyone do in broadcasting ever. This is amazing. So this is Dan Ball. He's the 8 o'clock host on One American News from his Monday night show. This is amazing. Listen.
Remind you every single day from now through April, when our contract is allegedly going to be up with DirecTV, that we need your help. If you want free speech, if you want freedom of the press like I do, if you enjoy watching One American News and this program, Real America, then please help us, folks. That is the chairman of AT&T, William Kennard. You heard me earlier describe who he is, his background, his connections to the Obamas and the Clintons for decades. Call AT&T's support line.
Now that's amazing. Now that seems normal. Call their support line. You know, Fox Business, they did this for a while, right? And Cavuto, right? Call your cable provider. Demand that they carry Fox Business. That's normal. Okay? That's not why I play the clip. Then Dan Ball is enlisting the help of his viewers on One American News to do something insanely exciting. Listen.
Complain. Raise hell. Email, phone call, daily, every hour. Set the alarm on your phone. Blow the phone lines up. Demand they keep OAN. This is censorship at its best. Folks, this man is doing nothing but a political maneuver by pressuring DirecTV, since they own 70% of them, to take us off the air. And oh, by the way, I'll just add this at the
Okay, now here we go. Here's the crazy part.
I'll just add this at the end. If you've got any dirt on Mr. Kennard, I'd love to see it and put it on this program. You bring me concrete evidence of whatever it may be, cheating on his taxes, cheating on his wife, saying racial slurs towards white people. Folks do that. Whatever it may be, find it for me. Bring it, and we'll air it. Everybody's got dirty little sins and secrets they're hiding. And this man deserves to have him exposed for what he's doing to not only this network, the owners, the hundreds of employees, but you, the viewers, who want a fair and honest and truthful voice. Don't let them do this to you, folks, by taking OAN off the air. We need your help.
Wow, I mean, that's amazing. This guy, Dan Ball, I love this guy. I never heard of him before. And I'm sorry I haven't. So I retract everything I said about One American News being boring. This guy is amazing. He has the biggest balls I've ever seen on TV. He's tougher than Tucker or anyone else in history on television cable news. And I love it. If you got any concrete evidence that he cheats on his taxes, cheats on his wife, or has said racist things about white people, I love that. Oh my goodness. I'll go public with it. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. You think they're going to make it till April if he's doing this every night? Oh man. 1-888-GO-KANE-1. That's our number. 1-888-465-2631. You're on the radio. Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning. Al from Coral Springs. I got some great news for you today, Brian. Today,
you're never going to call again?
Today will be my last call to you.
Nah, didn't I predict it? I predicted it. Yes, he's not going to call again. I'm sorry to steal your thunder and take the wind out of your sails. Uh-oh.
No wind. It's no wind taken out.
Yes, I made the announcement before you did. And I didn't even know. Oh, my goodness.
I just wanted to say thank you for keeping open lines. Unfortunately, you're a communist faker.
I'm a communist.
Let them, who doesn't, you claim you're a great debater. How about debating me one last time on something right now, live on? Do it.
No, I'm not going to do it because you asked me to. You know, listen, this is, goodbye, Al. I'd say it was nice knowing you, but it wasn't. You know, that's amazing. How did I know that? I've told you guys many times I have a very good ear. I used to be opposed to police profiling of suspects until I was doing this job for a few years. And then I can tell by the inflection of the first syllable out of someone's mouth what they're going to say, what they're going to talk about, what their background is. Are they liberal? Are they conservative? And when he says he's had an announcement, I said, you're not going to call anymore? And I'm announcing this will be... You know, the Steve Kane Show is the longest running radio show in the state of Florida, on the radio since 1977. This year, 2022, is the 45th year that the Steve Kane Show has been on the radio. Okay? Do you think it's been on the radio for 45 years because of you, Al from Coral Springs? And let me tell you what has happened to Al from Coral Springs. He feels like a joker. He feels like an idiot. He can't defend his liberalism. So as opposed to that, he's got to play this victim card and announce that he is leaving radio and will never return again to the program. Let me tell you, the show will go on. Will any of you miss him? Will he be missed? No. I don't believe he'll be missed. And he wants to do after he says that, he wants to do a last hurrah. No last hurrah. Sorry. Like these fools at AT&T, they tell One American News they're fired, and then they got the guy on TV going after the guy. The way you do it, stupid, is you do your last hurrah, and then at the end you make your great announcement that no one gives a damn about. Oh my goodness. I love it. I love it. Bye-bye, Al. Bye-bye. See ya. Don't let the door hit you in the behind. All right, now, I made an announcement in the first hour of the show. This is a huge announcement, people. This is a humongous announcement. Emerald Robinson recently departed Newsmax, and people have been asking, where is she? What happened? Where'd she go? Mike Lindell, the Thomas Edison of sleep, the inventor of the MyPillow, announced just yesterday that he has hired Emerald Robinson, former White House correspondent with Newsmax TV. Mike Lindell has hired Emerald Robinson, and, I know, is that not amazing? And has given her her own show on Frank's Speech. And Mike Lindell was at the Trump rally Saturday night in Arizona. He says every penny he makes, he pours it right in the Frank's Speech. So when you go to MyPillow.com and use our promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout, not only are you supporting the longest-running radio show in the state of Florida, the Steve Kane Show, on the air since 1977, you're supporting Mike Lindell, his incredible work, you're supporting Frank's Speech, Free Speech, and now Emerald Robinson. So that's amazing. So make sure you can save up to 66% off on all the items at MyPillow.com with our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879, 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE. Hi, Brian Craig here. I'm in studio with my wife, Jacqueline. $20 super chat. Thank you, Jacqueline. I do not take this show for granted. I'm grateful for this platform. Well, I'm grateful for you, Jacqueline. Everyone, please thank Jacqueline. Wait, I knew. As soon as he said that, I knew. Just say what? You're not going to call again? You think that's the first time I've heard that? What an arrogant person.
Huge difference for me. And the pain has not returned.
Wow, that's absolutely amazing. Now go to MyPillow.com and order your MyPillow mattress topper and do what Kathy and I did. Use the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. And this is an incredible deal because with the promo code KANE, you will save 30% off the MyPillow mattress topper and get 2 free MyPillows. But you've got to use the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. It comes in every size too, from twin all the way up to California King. That's promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com. Do you think you've come in contact with someone who has coronavirus? Steve Kane's wife Lori did, and she went to any lab test now of Coral Springs to find out if she has coronavirus.
So I came into contact with somebody who tested positive for COVID, and I was scared, and I needed results right away, so I went to any lab test now in Coral Springs. It was great. I didn't want to have to stay in line for 2 hours and have a swab stuck down my nose into my brain. It was very pleasant. I made an appointment. They got me within the hour. I was out of there within 20 minutes. Thank goodness the test was negative, and I can go back to work tomorrow. They also tested me for the antibodies, and I haven't been exposed. So do what I did. Go over to any lab test now of Coral Springs. They give great rates for Steve Kane listeners, and tell them we sent you.
It's worth 15 minutes of your time to have peace of mind and know that you and your family are safe. Any lab test now of Coral Springs is located at 955 North University Drive on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood near the Coral Square Mall. You can call them at 954-906-5983. 954-906-5983. Any lab test now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of
well, thank you, 420. Make sure everyone thanks Jacqueline for that $20 super chat.
If you suffer with diabetes, did you know there's a 25% chance that you will develop a foot ulcer at some point in your life? And foot ulcers, when you have diabetes, can lead to severe health consequences up to and including amputation. Now, Medicare recognizes the importance of preventative foot care and has provided coverage for those of you who are at-risk patients. I want to introduce you to my good friends at the Soul Authority. At the Soul Authority, at little or no cost, you can receive your very own pair of therapeutic shoes made specially for diabetics. You're probably not aware.
What a dope.
As a diabetic Medicare recipient, you are entitled to 1 pair of high
high-quality diabetic shoes with 3 custom inserts per year. These are not the ugly Frankenstein shoes. These are name brand shoes.
Hey, do we have any listeners in Canada right now in the chat?
Extra depth to stop diabetic foot problems before they begin. Oftentimes, amputation due to diabetes is preventable.
I'm going to talk about this trucker story out of Canada when we get back.
Most effective is wearing the proper shoes. Call the Soul Authority.
Hey, Canada.
At 954-597-7060 or online at thesoulauthority.com. That's THESOLE authority.com.
Toronto.
Steve Kane sent you.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on radio. Just search for WW.
All right, 21 minutes after the hour. Steve Kane's off today, but I put in an emergency call to him during the break. Since Al from Coral Springs is no longer calling, I left a frantic message with Steve asking him how the longest-running radio show on the radio in Florida, on the air for 45 years, is going to continue with Al from Coral Springs no longer calling us. And hopefully, Steve, call me back. There's a panic over here. Station management is coming in early. We're going to have a special meeting about this right after the show. Okay. So the Canadians, big story about truckers in Canada. Have you seen this story? Canada, I feel bad for Canada. When the 13 American colonies joined forces together and fought the American Revolution against the Brits, the tyrants who have caused us nothing but trouble. We were in 2 world wars because of the Redcoats, right? Remember the Brits, they really screwed us with all that fake intelligence about weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. How many people are dead and maimed and lives destroyed because of the Redcoats? But the 13 American colonies that formed the United States were not the only British colonies in the New World. The Canadians, right? Canada, they had colonies too, and the Canadians didn't join us. And if they did, they'd be a lot freer today than living under socialist rule. But the Canadians, have you seen this story? Oh my goodness. This is an amazing story. Not getting a lot of press coverage because the TV don't want you to know about this. People hoping to cross the border at Emerson in Canada are having to deal with a delay. Truckers tell 680 CJOB, I guess radio stations in Canada start with the letter C, that a slow roll protest is delaying trucking and other traffic as some truck drivers protest the mandate for all truckers that came into effect on Saturday in Canada. Okay, now I was talking, Wisconsin Gary called earlier. He's a truck driver. He has a beautiful yellow 18-wheeler. And, the mandate for truckers seems to be one of the dumbest mandates of all. Because truckers are alone. They're in their cabs alone, for the most part, aren't they? I mean, that's, one of the things that attract truckers to trucking is they love to drive, they love to be on the road, but they love to be the solitude too. They're like, their cab is like a fortress of solitude. So, what are they going to do, infect themselves? Driver Jamie Throp says it took him 30 minutes to reach the border crossing from the start of the protest. Truck drivers are circling MB-75 between Emerson Duty Free and the Commercial Inspection Station, blocking all lanes heading south to the United States and northbound traffic coming from the USA. In a video sent to Global News, trucks can be seen slowly driving on Highway 75 and their truck driver horns are blasting. The Canadian Border Service agencies have not responded to requests for comments from the press. The mandate for truck drivers crossing the border into Canada is the right thing to do, says the health minister. His name's French. I can't read it properly. Unvaccinated foreign national truck drivers are no longer allowed to cross the border into Canada, while unvaccinated Canadian truckers still have a right of return, but must test and isolate for 14 days. The U.S. will also tighten its border restrictions this coming Saturday. Okay, we have 2 countries run by idiots right now, the U.S. and Canada. They got this child prime minister who is only prime minister because his daddy was prime minister in the 90s when Clinton was president. Which tells you his dad's probably a sleaze bucket if he was so friendly with Clinton. And then we have this country that's run by Biden with the Secretary of Transportation, Mayor Pete. You know, and I mean this. Does Mayor Pete drive a car? When is the last time he drove a car? When he and his family go out, and I'm talking about before he had chauffeurs with the secretary job, okay? When he goes out with his family, who drives? Does he drive? Does his husband drive? I have a feeling the husband drives, the two of them. But he's the Secretary of Transportation. You know? There's a supply chain crisis going on right now. A supply chain crisis. The front line of our way of life are truck drivers. In many ways, more so than first responders like police and firefighters. That are important too, but we have whole cities that aren't even using them, right? Like New York, you know. But truck drivers are as important as any first responder. Any first responder. And we have a supply chain crisis. I was talking earlier, my wife, you know, we do most of our shopping on the DoorDash and home delivery. You know, and my wife was buying groceries from Walmart yesterday, and there were like no meats available. No meats, hardly at all. Slim pickings for the meats, especially chicken for some reason. There's a supply chain crisis going on, which is a crisis for the nation. And when there's a crisis going on, there's certain things that you do to keep things going. At the height of the pandemic 2 years ago, I can't believe it's been 2 years, the economy of not just America, but of the world was pretty much shut down for a couple of months. Other than the toilet paper shortage in the very beginning, we never had a problem getting supplies at the grocery stores. Now, all of a sudden, we're having problems everywhere. When you have a crisis like this, you don't bring California. Truck drivers have to be unionized or they can't drive loads in California. A truck, a semi, cannot be more than 10 years old in California. So maybe most truckers, well, certainly they're not unionized, most truckers cannot operate in California. The border between the United States and Canada is barely a border. You know, growing up, we always learned that the border between the United States and Canada, at least at that time, that was during the Cold War, maybe different now, but the border between the United States and Canada when I went to school was the largest unfortified border in the world. And that was a symbol of pride for both Canada and the United States. Different countries, but the largest unfortified border in the world. Pretty amazing, isn't it? And one of the great benefits of that is there's a lot of trade. Do you know 80% of the population of Canada, 80% of the population of Canada is a country much bigger than America, 80% of the population of Canada live within 150 miles of the U.S. border. Did you know that? Yeah. 80% of Canadians live within 150 miles of the U.S. border because we have an open border and it allows, you know, the flow of goods. Sometimes I knew a guy who lived in Michigan and worked at a radio station in Canada. You know, there's a lot of that going on too. And something that's, you know, we've had this open border, unfortified border between the U.S. and Canada all this time. And now we have Canada and this senile old coot Biden and this incompetent fool Mayor Pete fortifying the border over this mandate during a national crisis for both countries. A supply chain crisis of which we need truckers, more of them, moving more loads faster and faster and faster to fill up the shelves with food, like the meats that's missing from Walmart right now. At least my Walmart. Stupidity. You know, these people that are running Biden's a corrupt guy. We know this. He's for sale. But someone like Mayor Pete's never done anything. Everything with him is in a textbook. He's never done a real thing in his life. Probably doesn't have a single real hard-working physical. Probably never even mowed a lawn when he was a kid, you know? You know, that's how this guy is. They don't understand how anything works. And this is a crisis. And they're making it worse by this regulation. But, hey, the Canadian truck drivers are doing a good thing here, standing up against it. All right, we'll take our break for the bottom of the hour. 31 minutes after the hour. My name is Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. Our number is toll-free from anywhere, 1-888-GO-KANE 1, 888-465-2631. Back right after this.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
Hi, Tom Laporta here from Laporta Contracting, Roofing and Building Restoration. You survived the 2021 hurricane season. Now it's time to get your building envelope ready for the next season. Laporta Contracting installs all types of roofs, from asphalt, clay, and concrete, standing metal seam, flat roofs, and slate tile systems. Our building restoration offers complete envelope protection to include siding, stucco, concrete restoration, impact windows and doors, weatherproofing, and painting. Laporta Contracting serves single-family, multifamily, HOAs, and commercial properties. Call Laporta Contracting today for a free evaluation and estimate, and go to our website to see our team and past customer videos at laportacontracting.com. Our number is 954-604-4602. That number again is 954-604-4602. And thanks for listening to the Steve Kane Show.
Brian Craig here. You've heard us talk about the great low prices Friendly Tire has on new tires and used tires. They also do tire repairs. Listen to one of our listeners talk about their experience at Friendly Tire in Margate.
Hey Brian, my name is Mike. Just wanted to call and say thank you. I had a problem with my car. I had the flat tire was going down really quick. I'm in Coral Springs. I had to go somewhere close by. They couldn't really fix it. So I remember you guys are talking about Friendly Mike and Friendly Tires. So I said, listen, Mike, I need a couple of tires. I told him I thought. He goes, I got them. I go, I'll see you tomorrow. They were really cheap. I go over there, and Mike said, which tires do you want to replace?
The Steve Kane Show. Hey, PJ. Steve Kane Show. Hey.
Don't waste time going anywhere else. You will never find prices as low as Friendly Tire in Margate. Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for
All right, we are back 34 minutes after the hour. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Show. And, we have PJ on the line. And, PJ, you guys know PJ, regular caller. And many of you know this. A lot of you don't. He is also a very influential member of the national conservative media. PJ Gladnick, he writes for Newsbusters, which is one of the top conservative online news outlets out there. And I've got PJ on the line. I'm just assuming PJ is calling in, stopping the presses at Newsbusters. They're going to have a banner story that Al from Coral Springs will no longer be calling the Steve Kane Show. And I'm imagining he's calling to get some comment on that story. PJ, good morning.
About
exactly. I guess yeah, exactly. Al from Coral Springs he announced he's no longer going to call the show.
Okay, that's a great tragedy there.
Oh, I know.
We must be on exactly the same wavelength, because yesterday I wrote up a story based on that same daily news. I call it fake news story about the supposed Trump-DeSantis feud.
There's no Trump-DeSantis feud. It's all lies.
You know what I compared it to? Since it was based on pretty much all quotes, anonymous sources, quotes, it's the same as that. Remember that Atlantic magazine story that about from anonymous sources that Trump supposedly smeared veterans? Remember that last?
Yeah. Yeah.
That was very conveniently during the election season of 2020. Yeah.
And you know this story here, okay? Yeah, it came from the New York Times. There are no insiders in Trump's circle or DeSantis circle that are sources to the New York Times. I mean, that by itself blows it out of the water. But they got carried away with themselves at the New York Times, and they said one of the things that DeSantis is telling insiders is that he wasn't vocal enough about the disastrous coronavirus response of President Trump's. Now, that's just stupid. That's just stupid.
Yeah, and so anyway, oh, by the way, there's another story that's starting to break. Well, I saw it on the Drudge Report, but about the New York Attorney General is about to indict Trump. Now there's an unbiased person, the Attorney General of New York, Letitia James. She's all over the place. I don't even know how they can't not throw that out of court, because there's all kinds of videos of her saying that she's going to go after Trump before she.
There's one video of her online. This is when she was running, before she held the office, and a girl goes up to her and says, "When you get elected, will you sue Trump for us?" And she says, "Yes, I will sue Trump for you if you vote for me," which is corruption like I've never seen before. But maybe Letitia should head over to New York City and start investigating people that are pushing people off subway platforms in front of trains to their death. How about that? And leave the Trumps alone.
By the way, do you notice that not only was she investigating, but another thing, you don't hear about this anymore. Do you remember, he's no longer there, the Cyrus Vance Jr., the federal district attorney of Southern New York? He was also investigating Trump, but guess what? They never did bring any charges. It was like, hey, I guess there's nothing there.
Yeah, and Letitia James, if I'm not mistaken, did she not get a hold of Trump's taxes and nothing leaked out, which means they found nothing in his taxes, and they certainly didn't prosecute him for income tax evasion.
Yeah, so he must be, with all these investigations, you can only conclude that Trump was the most honest businessman out there.
$5 super chat, thank you.
They would have found it.
Yeah, absolutely. She's a real sick woman, and she's almost as corrupt as Biden.
Yeah. I'm just wondering if when they start talking about this, if any of these networks, I'm going to be looking with an eagle eye to see if these networks play any of the videos.
Yeah, and PJ was pretty excited. PJ got a mention on Steve Bannon's show the other day.
Actually, yeah, well, with the dummy funnies, yeah. Here's what happened. I was in my kitchen watching the TV and making some chicken for dinner. But anyway, right in the middle of it, the war room came on. So they showed a video, and I says, man, that looks a lot like my video. It was with Jake Tapper, talking about slamming Trump.
Yeah.
Because he said, who counts the votes? But
yeah. Yeah.
Looks like my video. And then by the time it was almost over, I'm like 95% sure it's my video. And then what made me absolutely sure is those dummy funny kids subscribed to the dummy. I couldn't believe it. They left that on.
And it was very funny because PJ at the end of his video has his grandkids on there saying subscribe to the dummy. Oh, they're not? Oh, their niece and nephew. Okay, I'm sorry. His niece and nephew, I'm sorry, saying subscribe to the dummy funnies, and it caught Steve Bannon off guard. And when you see the expression on Steve Bannon's face when the kids come on at the end, it was hilarious. It was hilarious.
I did a follow-up video on that. I did like a Zapruder film.
I saw it. I saw that. Steve Bannon's all right. He's a good guy. All right, hey PJ, take care. All right, thanks for calling, and if you need any comment on the liberal Al not calling anymore, call me back. All right, let's take another call. Good morning, you're on the radio.
Yeah, hey, how are you?
Oh, hey, Juan, good morning.
Good morning. Hey, something that you mentioned earlier was the one thing about the open borders between Canada and the goods and services and trade. But there is one real specific reason why they all live there, and I'll tell you what that is. That the United States provides the best health care, and that's why they live there, so that they can cross the border in Washington, New York, Wyoming, and Michigan, and all those states. And let me give a shout out to Gary, my colleague. He's always a great caller. He's got many great callers, but a shout out specifically to Gary, Wisconsin Gary, because we're the backbone of America. And
oh, you're a truck driver? You're a truck driver?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that.
You know what? I would tell Gary. I got a truck over here that's empty. That he can come down here to Paradise and drive it.
Well, he's got his own. He's got his own truck. He's an independent 18-wheeler. He's an independent. He's an owner operator. Yeah, he's got his own truck.
Okay. All right. Well, then that's good for him. I mean,
it's really a shame what they're doing. That when I was a kid, some of the coolest guys on the road were the truck drivers, man. Remember Moving On and all that stuff, and all the kids do the thing, the honk the horn. Do the kids still do the thing, the honk the horn? I bet they don't do that like they used to.
Oh yeah, no. Well, I got to be careful when I go to honk the horn, because I don't want somebody in front of me to think that I'm honking the horn at them. Because
oh yeah,
I mean the most polite people are truck drivers, irregardless of their past, because we get a lot of delinquents every now and then that smear us all, but that's every profession.
Yeah.
But that's the reason. I digress. That's the reason why the Canadians live in the border from United States, because they can come in here and we accept their equivalent of Medicaid, Medicare, and we got to carry their dead wood, and the way it is. I mean, Canada is a good neighbor, not right now, thanks to Joe.
Well, and then of course, why is the Canadian border now closed, but the southern border? I guess maybe the southern border's open because the Democrats get their drugs and their hookers and stuff through there, I guess.
The only reason the southern border is also because they need a base.
That's true. Hey, Juan, time is short, but thanks for the call. I did not know you were in the trucking bed. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian, it's Greg, too.
Oh, hey, Greg. How you doing?
Good. You know what? I think, Brian, you're discounting people that are going to run against Trump. Mike Pence.
Mike Pence.
What, you don't like Mike Pence?
No. In fact, I never liked him. I used to talk before COVID. I used to talk about that a lot, even when he was vice president before COVID. I said, I don't trust Mike Pence because I don't know what he's really like. He seems very guarded. I don't know the man's personality. I never...
Trump chose him as his candidate.
Well, hey, listen, there was only one man who was perfect, Jesus.
But what I'm saying is he could have chosen a better candidate, and he chose Mike Pence. So was that a perfect decision?
In hindsight, no. Well, I'll tell you this quickly, because we got to break in a moment. But the thing about running for office, why do you think I know why. Why do you think Mike Pence is running for office? Because they say he's going to run for president. Why do you think he would do that? I know why, but let's see what your reasoning is.
Because he wants to become president.
No, he's not going to become president. The Republican base hate Mike Pence. Here's the thing. Running for a lot of people run for office, and they know they're not going to win. It's big money, big business, and the fundraising end of it. There are people that are fundraisers for candidates as well. In particular, I'm not going to name them on the air. But it is a big scam.
You say comments and you don't get specifics. You're like, I know people.
Well, hey, listen, I'm sorry. I'm more connected than you, and I'm not gonna out people with such things. But there is big money to be made by running for office and never winning.
Big establishment too. You won't reveal names.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm big establishment. Yeah, I'm with Liz Cheney. What an idiot. All right, I got to run for the Gold Report. We'll be back. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. One liberal caller says I'm a communist. The other one says I'm a establishment guy. Yeah, that's right. We'll be right back with the Gold Report after this.
Pandemic hit America, our nation.
Vladik, $5 super chat. Thank you. Everyone thank Vladik. DeSantis in a recent interview said he didn't agree with Trump shutting down the country and forced him to shut down Florida. Maybe that's the feud. There is no feud, Vladik. There is no feud.
To produce medical exam gloves
Fake news.
Associated raw materials right here in the USA. This way, supply chain issues will never be a problem again. This project is U.S. funded, owned, and managed. Best of all, it's without reliance on the foreign supply chain. Investing in this critical infrastructure is important to the safety and defense of America. Now, here's where you come in. If you're an entrepreneur, venture capitalist, or high net worth individual interested in this investment opportunity, contact Small Business Development Group at 919 area code 654-6870. 919 area code 654-6870. Learn more about this incredible opportunity. 919-654-6870.
Small Business Development Group is a publicly traded company. Stock symbol.
I don't know if you heard me earlier, Chaplain Jethro. If you want to share your Facebook group information in the chat room, please go ahead and do that. I was watching you last night.
Do you think you've come in contact with someone who has coronavirus? Steve Kane's wife Lori did, and she went to any lab test now.
Hey there, hold on.
Now in Coral Springs. It was great. I didn't want to have to stay in line for 2 hours and have a swab stuck down my nose into my brain. It was very pleasant. I made an appointment. They got me in within the hour. I was out of there within 20 minutes. Thank goodness the test was negative, and I can go back to work tomorrow. They also tested me.
Hey everyone, make sure you like the video, and if you're new, please subscribe. And I was talking earlier this week, I am really trying to get to 50,000 subscribers. It's very difficult for a conservative MAGA white guy to get to 50,000 subscribers. Very difficult. So if you could get your friends to subscribe, if you're in other chat rooms, other live streams, tell your friends over there to subscribe to this channel. That would help a lot. Liking the video helps.
954-906-5983. Any lab test now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza, where the Western Beach is south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsborough. Call them at 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio. Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for W.
All right, and it's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated in the Bank of America Tower Building here in Boca with the Morning Gold and Precious Metals Report. William Youngerman, good morning.
Good morning, Brian. How you doing?
Doing great. How are the metals looking?
Looking amazing. I think we are getting set up to make some new highs or higher prices than we've seen in quite a while. Market yesterday was sold off a little bit on some on our typical Tuesday opportunities, giving us a buying opportunity at $1,813.60 on the close. That was just down $5.50, while all the other precious metals were up significantly. Silver up 46 cents yesterday, closing at $23.46. Platinum up $9 at $981, while palladium was up $33 at $1,846. The rally continues on gold this morning, up $9.90 right now at $1823.50. Silver up another 30 cents at $23.76. You know, I think there's a short squeeze going on silver on the physical demand for silver, and that may play out to see silver really take a big run from here. Platinum up $29 at $1,010, over $1,000 again, and palladium up $48 at $1,894. Oil $86 a barrel. That's gone up dramatically, like over $10 in the last 2 weeks. And the 10-year yield now up to 1.87. So the stage is being set for, again, a perfect storm for the precious metals to go much higher with it. In their housing market, red hot and rising, and this is an environment that you just have to be in the precious metals to protect your financial.
No doubt, and you've been talking a lot of the last couple weeks in particular about the great buy platinum is under 1,000, and now we break that 1,000 number. William Youngman, can you tell people two things here that may not be able to make it in, whether they're local, out of state, out of the country, how they can do business with you, and also the benefits to buying the metals from you, even if they're in another state or a country?
Certainly. Certainly. For over 50 years, we've been shipping the rare coins and precious metals all over the world. No problem to do business with us that way. You can just simply call us on our 800 number, lock in the price, and overnight a check or wire the money, and the precious metals are shipped within 24 hours and sometimes the very same day. So that's on your buying from us, because there's no expensive TV advertising in our company. We save all the money for our investors. Try to hustle you on something either.
Yeah, and to put it simply, you will get more metal for your money with William Youngerman. Is that accurate to say?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. All right. Now they open up weekdays at 10 a.m. The number 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010. Online, WilliamYoungerman.com. The address 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca. Again, that's on the first floor of the Bank of America building, immediately east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. All right, William Youngerman, we'll talk tomorrow.
Have a great day.
All right, take care, take care. All right, oh, yes, I had a clip I almost forgot about from Don Lemon. Oh, Don Lemon. I love it. I love it. He's one of those Democrats who thinks we don't have enough restrictions on people that vacationed in Florida. He got busted by some MAGA patriot vacationers at a resort up in Palm Beach, down the street from Mar-a-Lago. And, just like AOC, where we have no restrictions like they have in New York City. So Don Lemon, he's talking about mandates and other restrictions put upon people, and he gives this brilliant analysis on CNN yesterday. Listen, Don Lemon.
We have to start doing things for the greater good of society, and not for idiots who think that they can do their own research or that they are above the law and they can break the rules. Australia, Novak Djokovic, Australia said, no. We're going to look at the greater good of everyone in our society, and you're not part of that. We don't care that you're the #1 tennis player in the world. And
okay, now a couple things. Quickly on the tennis player, I would say that he's benefited from this because I never heard of the guy before. I haven't followed tennis since the McEnroe days. All right, and Djokovic, whatever his name is, he's like one of the most famous men on the planet. He's going to make all kinds of money just on his name now without having to compete. But anyway, the reason I played this, though, let me play this again because I lost my train of thought. I mean, this is Don Lemon.
To start doing things for the greater good of society.
Okay, the greater good of society. That was it. The greater good of society. I wanted to get the quote accurately. See, this is the arrogance of the left. The left feel like they have a right to do whatever it is they want to do because they represent what is the greatest good for our society. There is nothing more arrogant than that. And no one who disagrees with them understands what the greatest or the common good sometimes referred to as. And you've got to go by these rules and regulations. Don Lemon should be ashamed of himself. There was a time when it was illegal for him to live his lifestyle, right? There were laws outlawing homosexuality. And, when he was caught by this MAGA patriot at the resort in Palm Beach down the street from Mar-a-Lago vacationing, he was with his boyfriend, who's white. There was a time during the Democrat-run Jim Crow era, not only was it illegal for him to be a gay man, but interracial relationships were a crime. And at the time, Democrats, like now, said they were doing what was best for the common good, and this is not good for our society. And, if you look through American history, everything, liberals are always telling us that America needs to apologize for something. Everything they say we need to apologize for in this country, the Democrats, was brought to us by the left. The internment of Americans of Japanese descent, Roosevelt, right? Democrats. The slavery, Democrats. Jim Crow, Democrats. The laws against homosexuality, those were Democrats in the South. The laws against interracial relationships, Democrats. The Tuskegee experiment, that was Roosevelt too, another Democrat. Everything they say we owe an apology for in this country was brought to you by a Democrat. So I don't know where they get off thinking they know what's best for the common good. They've been wrong so many times. And they'll be wrong again, and they're always wrong. That's why they're liberal Democrats. Don Lemon, what a jerk. Well, guys, hey, listen, thanks for tuning in. Steve Kane will be back with us tomorrow. He had a appointment this morning, a doctor's appointment. Remember, he just beat the COVID, which we're very excited about, that Steve beat the COVID. I'm excited about it. I know you guys are too, because I was really worried when Steve told me. But he got through it, but he had a doctor's appointment in relation to follow up with that. But he'll be back with us tomorrow. Everyone who tuned in or called in today, thank you so much. You're some very good callers today. Heard from some new people, some very interesting comments and new perspectives on things. And, of course, we'll be back with you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. My name's Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. On the radio since 1977, celebrating 45 years on the radio this year. It's an absolutely amazing accomplishment. Take care, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. live, right here on the radio. Take care.
With diabetes, there's a 25% chance that you'll develop a foot ulcer that can lead to severe health consequences, including amputation. At the sole authority, at little or no cost, you can receive your very own therapeutic shoes and custom inserts. Medicare recipients are entitled to 1 pair of quality diabetic shoes and 3 custom inserts. Call the sole authority today, 954-597-7060.
Hello, this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
All right, guys. Hey, listen. Thanks for watching, everyone. Make sure that you're subscribed if you're not subscribed. And I was saying earlier, if you could please tell your friends about this YouTube channel and get your friends to subscribe too, that would be wonderful, all right? Tell all your friends to sub. And I know a lot of you are in other streams, other live streams, and tell your friends over there to subscribe to this channel. Help me get to the 50,000 sub mark. And please like the video too if you're already subscribed. All right, guys. Wait a second. Somebody said, look up. What do you want me to look up at? Dirt on William Kennard. Well, you need to call Dan Ball with that dirt. I'll scroll up after I'm done. But I'll see you guys soon. All right, guys? Take care.